Thank you, Quincy. Welcome to From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, bullshit, and the 108 tourney. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that Jeff Passan murdered him about that, you drink. If My Sock Summer doesn't know a Twitter account or mentions his time on the West Coast, you drink.
Get ready.
If Aloha Mr. Hand mentions Jack Daniels, K Fids, or Jerry Reinsdorf, you drink.
Drink,
If
fucker,
White
you're
Sox
going to.
Dave gets angry, or if he passes out, you drink. If Darren puts up the wrong image or displays the tab of Pornhub he has open, you drink. And if I swear or go completely out of the agenda's order, you drink. Speaking of drinking, what are you drinking tonight, fellas? Beef, I'll start with you.
Oh, baby. I'm racked up with little Goose Island. Got the Gava Squad right here. I got no backups. All right. I'm going totally beer tonight, which I haven't done in a while. I've been drinking down my entire liquor cabinet. You've seen the UV blue vodka that I drank. You saw the Absolute Pepar that was like drinking a fucking ashtray. But tonight I'm doing it classy. I've got the Goose Island beer, and I'm really looking forward to knocking a bunch of these down, boys.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Dave, what are you drinking?
You guys can't probably see it because I'm cooped up in a little side room at undisclosed location right now. I got a vodka soda because I'm no beer for the time being. But yeah, going straight vodka right now. This is a double shot, actually, not to brag.
Oh,
and,
wow.
that's what we're rolling.
That's big time. Big time double shot. All right, Darren, what are you drinking?
I am not of age quite yet, so I've got my trusty Champagne, Illinois tap water.
Nice.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Wow, beautiful.
Aloha,
sure
Mr. Hand. What do you got down there, buddy?
well, I would say what I was going to drink, but then everybody else would have to drink Jack Daniel's drink. But I'm going with the Smells Like Bean Spirit and a milkshake IPA because why the hell not? It's a special night.
Nice.
Hell yes, it is.
How My Sock Summer, how do you think Aloha, Mr. Hand's going to fare after that those Smells Like Bean Spirit?
Oh, the one that he gave me that I had last night is the ABV's a lot lower than the other one that I had that was 12 and a half that got me a little wrecked. So I think he's going to be good. If he has two of them though, I mean, that hat might go sideways, even more sideways than it already is. So
It's like he's a gang member.
Yeah, get ready for that shit. So, but the milkshake IPA was delicious, and thank you again, Mr. Hand, for that. Darren, I think champagne tap water, because of all the college students, is at least like a 4% ABV. So like you're gonna get a little buzz from that anyway. So look forward to that. I'm looking forward to that because we're not contributing to the delinquency of your minor being this far away. Now, I am also drinking the Guava Squad. I got that up in my Goose Island glass. I also have the Little Risk, which is their stout, which I will be cracking later. Oh, can't see it. There he goes. And that Dippa, that double IPA outlier. It's a double dry hopped IPA. That fucking shit is delicious. Thanks again to Goose Island. That is good stuff. What are you drinking, Teresi?
I was gonna say, speaking of Goose, I got the fancy 312 can
Nice
there.
Oh, that's
so
gorgeous.
I got a 4 of those lined up, and then I only have, I think, like 6 or 7 guavas to back that up.
So that's not gonna be enough.
Got to keep the show short tonight. Keep it to under 3 hours, I guess. But we'll see. If I have to get up and go get some more, there's some more in the fridge. We'll be good. All right. I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Buffalo Wings and Rings. And now I'm going to pay a couple bills. It's almost time for the Marathon 108ing that has not happened since 2019. The baseball season is almost upon us. And thank Jeebus, we'll actually be back in the stadium. So where should you head before and or after the game? Head over to Buffalo Wings and Rings at 3434 South Halsted, an address even a super drunk Teresi can remember. Great drink selection, great food, and they even have a Section 108. If you're only going to remember one thing about your day at the park, remember to get to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All right, Beef. It is time. It is time to tell us about the 108 tourney and then get into those brackets.
Baby, before we bring these brackets in, I was getting a lot of questions this week, and I mean a lot of questions, because it seems like over time the whole 108 thing has exploded a bunch. The 108 tourney is in its 4th year right now. I can remember the very first year, my Sox Summer, Treasy, and I, we had a meeting. We do annual meetings for our 108 stuff. Usually it's get real buzzed up and forget half the things we talked about. I keep a notepad whenever we talk about all these ideas, and I kept this idea from a meeting we had at Baderbrow back in the day that we shouldn't have driven home from, not gonna lie. And I really wanted to execute it. And that was the 108 tourney. That was like, we're gonna bring this out here and we're gonna have a Twitter poll tournament between the people. And my Sox Summer's reaction was, that's a lot of work. And Teresa's reaction was, that's stupid, don't do it. But we pushed forward anyway. And I was resilient. I talked to my Sox Summer. My Sox Summer is the type of guy where if you lean on him hard enough, he'll have empathy for you and he'll help you out. Just in general in life. And that's what he always does. And so I did in this situation. So we put the thing out there. He made a great graphic. I remember putting the blog post out in the morning before I went to work. By the time I got to work, and my commute's maybe 45 minutes downtown, it was doing 10x the numbers we would do on a normal blog post. So we kind of knew we had something here. We knew that this sort of thing was exciting to people. And fast forward to today, and we have this thing with a sponsor. We have a bunch of media members in it that we're friends with. Obviously, we've got the big kahuna White Sox Dave as our chancellor and here doing the show with us. I mean, we got Sammy Panianovich making odds for this thing every year, which I'm going to reveal on Saturday for you guys. But the real reason we do the 108 tourney isn't any of that stuff. It's not clout. It's not clicks and blog views. As Treasy would say, it's the biggest Friday follow we could possibly do. It's an artist palette for your creativity, you and the White Sox Twitter community. And that's why we put it out there. We put it out there so that you can have some fun, blow off a little bit of steam, and show how passionate and smart and funny you are, right, leading up to the White Sox season. All of us have like a lot of anxiety going into a big season, and we've been waiting for it. And this one's even worse because we've been sitting through a pandemic. But the reason why we want to do it is we want to see all the things that all of you are going to do. And so it's exciting to me to release the brackets. Mrs. Beefloaf was asking me, she's like, are you nervous about this? I was like, no, I'm ready to birth this baby. I've been gestating for 12 months. I'm ready to have this fucking baby right now. And so I'm just goddamn excited. I could barely stay in my seat. I'm not nervous at all. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous for the Snubs draft at the end because I feel bad about people who got left out. But anyway, I'm ready to roll, Treasy.
I'm excited now too because I can see Dave. Like
That is awesome.
All right, I will say this: don't get used to it because I'm standing now, and standing sucks compared to sitting. But I'm standing under the light. I got perched up on this little like sidebar up in this corner room of where I'm at, and in I don't know 3 to 5 minutes, I'll probably get sick of standing and I'll go back to the couch.
Well, hey, Dave, I noticed this when you put up your a picture in one of your fleets today. You're looking like you've lost some weight, especially up in the face. Like you had like a little chiseled chin, and I didn't know if it was because you've actually lost weight or because I see you next to Chief, and Chief has gained so much weight.
Oh,
Not sure what happened, you know?
He's the most big motherfucker on the planet. And when you guys make fun of him for being fat, that really, really gets it. Like he did. And I love it. Because he's like, oh, I'm gonna quit gluten for Lent. I'm gonna start going to Orange Theory, like blah blah blah. I'm like, no, you're not. You're a slob.
I love it.
When he takes a picture, if you look, he's leaning in like this to try to hide the double chin. And
yeah,
we sniped when I was running, I think like a 40-yard dash or something. Like he just looked like a bag of shit, and I fucking loved it. I loved it.
He looks like a guy that sells, like we've said, he sells shrooms at Fish concerts. Like he looked just like that guy. He had a satchel, so like he had the drugs right there. Like I mean, it all worked out. Like I didn't know he got upset about it. Now I feel a little bad, but he also has to consider the source. I'm a 6'4", 300-pound guy. Like I'm ginormous.
Allegedly.
Like you only see like so much, you know. Like I'm not like loaf. Like he's in shape for God's sake.
No,
he's a ripper.
I'm pear-shaped. Yeah.
I noticed the same thing actually. Like when I saw that picture, I was like, hey, look, I've lost weight. I'll say this: I have not lost weight. So since we're doing all this promo stuff for the launch of our Barstool Sportsbook app right now, I knew that I was going to get ripped on because I always just buzz my beard. I don't ever bick my beard like with a razor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew that if I didn't buzz my beard like I typically do, people would be ripping on me for having the eyeball beard. That grows.
That's your signature, though. How can you, I mean, you should wear it more
I know
often.
that, but I still don't want to get made fun of for it because I'm. But so I'm going to buzz my beard, and as soon as I started the buzzer, it was out of batteries, and I'm like, fuck, what do I got to do? So I took the razor that I shaved my nutsack with, and
Yes.
this is the first time I've been legit clean shaven in years. I haven't
On your face. It sounds like you're clean shaven elsewhere
Right.
quite often.
it's smooth as a hairless ball sack.
I mean, that's the
He
move
keeps it
when
high
you're
and tight,
single.
low, down low.
You're teaching the kids out there something special. You always got to make sure that area is ready to go. Even if you're not getting laid, you make sure that's ready to go. Because you don't know when you're going to end up drunk at Declan's and there's going to be some girl that's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to fuck the guy from Barstool. And then like, you don't want to be like, oh man, look, I got a jungle. She's going to be like, yeah, I don't want to fuck a jungle. You know, so that's good. You're doing it right.
All of a sudden, she's putting that shit all over the internet, and you look like a hobo that doesn't shave his nutsack.
That's another thing. I didn't even think about that. You could sell that picture to like another blog or something for like at least $50. Like this is Dave's unshaven taint.
I bet you could get maybe $60 for that.
And you know what? You could put it on a bet, and you could parlay that motherfucker into like 360, and it'd just be great.
So that's what I want him to do. It's all part of the long game.
All right. After that,
Bullshit.
there's only one bracket that we could possibly go into, and that is the White Sox Dave bracket. So why don't we pull that up, Darren? All right. Thing of beauty. Look at that.
Excellent. So because White Sox Dave has retired from the tournament and become our chancellor, we have named a bracket after him, and it's the old celebrities bracket or media bracket as we would go. And the way we're doing it, so all of you that are watching on YouTube, you can see the bracket right now. It's live and ready. Those of you listening on the podcast, we're going to read down the matchups for you. We're going to do 8 play-in round matchups of 3 people in each Twitter poll. So these are going to go off on Thursday, March 18th, and that is actually the very first day that the legitimate tournament starts. And play-in number 1 is going to feature Red Sox, that's Tom Fornelli, against Ozzie Guillen Jr. and James Fegan. Play-in number 2 is going to feature Chuck Garfine with Dave's internet wife, Layla Rahimi, and Jim Margulis. Play-in number 3 will feature James Fox, Alyssa Bergamini, and Lamont Pope. Play-in number 4 is going to feature Herb Lawrence, Sean Anderson, and Rob Hart. Play-in 5 of the White Sox Dave bracket is going to feature Gas Money Bob, Chris Tannehill, and Scott Merkin. Play-in number 6 of the White Sox Dave region will feature Josh Nelson, Daryl Van Schouwen, and Mike Rankin. Play-in number 7 is going to feature Sam Panianovich, Shane Reardon, and Sean Roberts. And the final play-in of this region, play-in number 8, is going to feature Chris Kamka, Chris Lanuti, we're doubling up with the Chris's, and Lauren Nasevic, who actually I put her maiden name in there. She's now married. It should be Lauren Stone. But all of you out there probably know her more by her maiden name. Gentlemen, the first bracket is out there. I would love to hear some feedback from my guy, My Sox Summer. What do you think about this bracket?
Dude, first off, I mean, Chuck, Layla, and Jim. I mean, what an awful like first date, like for Layla to be on, right? You have Chuck who's over there like trying to do way too much, you know, like he's like, hey, can I get you something to drink? Can I get you this? Can you get you that or what? And then Jim's gonna act like, why am I here? I don't know why I'm here. You know, and he's like, you want to talk about like, you know, how to water crops or like, you know, what you should be what you should be planning right now in April. You know, like what's gonna be best in March? You know, it's just the weirdest backup at all. And now I'm also like, listen, do I want to see Chris Tannehill get throttled because he calls you the meat eater, even though that's all cleared up, it still pisses me off, Loaf. It still pisses me off.
I mean, the beef, you're right. The beef's cleared up, but I'm with you. I'm with you.
Like, I want to see Gas Money Bob throttle Chris Tannehill and Scott Merkin at one time. Once, it's like that's all I want to see. All right, and I'm gonna make it happen because he came to my aid today when Kobe's burner was telling me he wanted to lick my butthole. So that's what I gotta say.
Beef.
Wow.
I gotta say, man, I love that you put all this work into this tourney, and obviously love the Chancellor White Sox Dave. But you got 8 3-ways here. How is this not the Wally Money region?
I don't. You know what? We're trying to keep it family friendly. All right. A lot of people are watching this. We don't want to go down those paths. That's my.
I got it. I got it. Okay.
Sorry about the lick my butthole part. Then I'm sorry.
No,
I will
that's
say
fine. That's totally kosher. I got no problem.
I will say that I thought when you were like, which ones do you guys want to read? Which brackets do you want to read? I looked at this bracket and then I looked at Daryl Van Scalen's name and I was like, nope, I'm not doing this one.
That's a good precursor for figuring out which one you want to read. I'm gonna be honest with you. When we loaded these up and we were looking at these the other night, I was thinking to myself, either I'm getting old or the print on these are small. Like I've got a backup on my desktop right now with the slightly bigger print just in case I get into a spot where I'm like, fuck, I can't read that name. But I made it through this group. I'm pretty pleased about that.
Good job.
So, slight confession right here. The last time I got my eyes checked, which was years ago, I could read the smallest line with one eye with each eye. So like I'd cover one eye, I could read it. I'd cover the other eye, I could read it. And the eye doctor said I got fighter pilot vision. I can't read names anymore. I think that means I'm getting old. Either that or I'm just hammered, which is very plausible. I've been here since 10 in the morning and it's 9 o'clock at night. So
you got double vodka vision. That's fine.
That's standard. That's standard right there.
Is that called hawk vision?
I should get the little eye patch like hockey staff.
That's fighting Dave vision.
How about you, Mr. Hand? What do you think about this bracket? Anything?
What's the hat say?
What's the hat say? Well,
Yeah, what's the hat say?
Sid-
What's it feeling?
so since you talk about this being a family-friendly show, I will use some family movies to describe some of these brackets. For example, the Chuck, Layla, Jim, the James Fox, Alyssa, Lamond, and the Lauren Stone. That's all Beauty and the Beast. Let's face it. You got 3 beauties and the rest of them are hideous fucking beasts. So that's number 1. Ozzie Guillen Jr., the little engine that could. He might actually win something like his dad, but I'm sure he'll rely on his dad to help him.
Dude, White Sox is going to destroy that.
I think it's gonna destroy both of them.
And, there's one guy I hope really wins out of here because I really like the guy. I think he's a great guy, is Rob Hart. To be honest with you, I hope he does win. Don't know if he will, because Herbie's gonna present a challenge to him.
Yeah, he's gonna get squashed by Herbie.
Yeah.
Herbert's going to destroy that group.
There's some people in this bracket that are kind of sacrificial lambs, and I feel a little bit bad about it, but not really, because they at least get to be on the board, and we'll get to be on the Twitter poll on Thursday when we do it. But
Tanny?
yeah, there's some people that got no chance.
Yeah, Tanny. Yeah, but that's all I got.
All right, should we move on to the next bracket?
Let's do it, baby.
See it.
Oh, what the hell is this?
Oh, yes.
This wasn't in the run through when we did this. What the fuck are you doing to me here?
Oh, look at your
damn it.
face.
Damn.
Wait a minute. How come
face?
you didn't make me a dark guy like Jeff Passan? What the fuck?
He's gonna nutscape you.
Hey, so based on our previous conversation, is his ball sack clean?
You son of a bitch. God damn it.
He got you. He got you, Loaf, on your
I love
night.
this. I'll read this bracket.
You motherfuckers. Yeah, you should read it for the people who can't see it on the podcast.
Oh yeah, so go back to that.
They can't see anything.
I'll describe what we're looking at here.
Oh no,
So-
they can see it now. They can see it.
Well, no. But if you're
Not on the
listening to the podcast, you
Oh,
can
on
see
the
what we're
podcast.
seeing.
Oh yeah.
So,
I'm sorry.
so this is the 108 region. It's Jeff Passan against Beefloaf, and there's a picture of a guy, possibly actually Jeff Passan, dunking on Beefloaf. And that is actually Beefloaf. I've
That
seen him
wasn't.
in that
That's me.
jersey
Yeah,
before.
I've been dunked on like that before.
And his nuts
is
aren't
that?
quite in his face, but they're close enough that you could tell Beefloaf is smelling them.
It looks like I'm about to get bagpiped, Dreezy. I'm about
Oh,
to get
man, it
bagpiped
does.
there, aren't I?
The old
Just in-
bagpipe.
Just in time for St. Patty's Day. I'm going to get bagpiped on this picture.
If you guys don't know what bagpiping is, now you do.
Oh my
Look it
god.
up.
Urban Dictionary is your friend in this one, but I think
That's
I
fucking
think you know what's
hilarious.
going on.
Who made this? Did you make this, Darren?
Yeah.
Good
You
job,
son
Darren.
of a son of a gun. You're fired, motherfucker.
You're gunning
That's
for
it.
my job. Coming for me. I get it.
Hey, is Jeff Passan gonna play along and like retweet this at all? You think, or is he gonna big time us? Because I shot Jeff Passan a DM like 2 weeks ago, and he doesn't follow me or anything, but his DMs are open, and he's talked about in previous articles how he's gotten scoops himself from the DMs.
Yeah.
And I DM'd him on a scoop that actually came true like a week after I DM'd about a week ago, and he never responded or never nothing.
Oh wow.
Well,
man.
he did
Bullshit,
absolutely
Dave.
wreck Beefloaf the
Oh,
other
I
day.
know.
So I feel like I'll make this prediction. I make a lot of bad predictions, but I'll make this prediction. We will hear more from Jeff Passan in this tourney than we will from James Fegan.
That's a given, right? That's a no-brainer.
Hey, Loaf.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I share what was written in the DM that you sent us last night from
Sure.
Mr. Passan?
Sure. Go
And
for it.
why I like this is we sent Mr. Passan 3 108 winter hats. He has not tweeted about it. He has not put them up on his Twitter. He doesn't need to do that. We just did it because he fucks with Loaf, and that's all we need. We need somebody to check his ass every once in a while. We need Loaf's ass checked. Now, well, not checked, his moose knuckle ass checked. Now,
Actually,
Toby's
what
burner.
I think was hilarious in the DM is he's like, my wife wore the hats like all winter. And
Yeah.
I think it's funny because I think she wears them because you give him shit, and she's like, man, fuck this motherfucker. I like people. This is my man shit. And he's like, oh, I'm big time in this motherfucker. She's like, nah, fuck you. I'm gonna put on this 108 winter hat and let him know who's boss. So I like
My
what
sex
you-
summer,
I
you're
like
right.
it.
That's 100%. That's what it is. She has a burner account on Twitter. She tells Jeff, I'm not on
Yes.
Twitter, but she's got a burner. She follows me. She don't follow him. Guaranteed.
Let's-
That's
let's
guaranteed.
just
what's going
hope-
on.
let's just hope she doesn't talk to Daryl Dawkins' wife. 'Cause
No,
then
yeah,
then you're fucked up.
Yeah, no, we can't have them to get together. I'm sorry about
No.
that. I'm still sorry
right.
about that.
Wait. What happened with Daryl Dawkins' wife?
You know, Dave, I have to send this to you, but I had a little tweet where I was talking about, which teams, what was the team that did the most cocaine ever? And people were 86 Mets and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think like the 83 76ers did more cocaine because Daryl Dawkins, he's a big coke user and all this stuff. And Daryl Dawkins' widow still has his account open and must search his name. And she came after me and she's like giving me some shit. And the tweet I wrote was like clearly a joke. I was saying like he came to the NBA when he was 9 and he could snort up Keith Hernandez, no problem. And it was like, it's clear satire. And she's like, you shouldn't talk this way about it because he didn't, unless you achieve everything in your life. And I'm like, oh shit, man. So I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings or whatever.
You shouldn't have apologized. You made the fucking 108 tourney. All right, you created it.
See, it would only be fitting if that. I mean, you should have Daryl Dawkins in that picture dunking on beef.
That would be nice. Breaking the
It would've-
blackboard.
Yeah, exactly.
It would have been amazing if Beef would have just responded. I created the fucking 108 tourney. What have you ever done?
What did Daryl ever do? Average 14 points a game? Who cares?
Ooh.
All right. Let's get into that 108 bracket.
Let's
Do
do
it.
it, baby. All right. For those of you listening at home on the podcast, we changed the way we're doing the 108 region because, the 108 region was a slaughter in the past.
So boring.
It was me and my Sux Summer and Treasy whooping up on the whole field. So what we decided to do is let the whole rest of the 108 region field play each other. And then myself, I'll sit in the number 1 seed. Dreezy's going to sit 2, and my Sux will sit 3. We'll wait for the rest of the group to come and catch us. All right. So these games are the opening round games in the 108 region. They'll start on Thursday, March 18th. And then the winner is going to face someone on Friday, March 19th. So we've got 12 teams in total out of the group. We've got number 9 seed Wally Money against number 14 seed Matt Ramsey. And the winner of that will move on to Friday and play the number 4 seed Aloha Mr. Hand.
And
Number
thoroughly
11.
crush him.
I look forward annually, actually, to the Wally Money and Mr. Hand matchup. The number 11 seed, King Nam, he's the Dollar Dog King champion, against the number 12 seed, our guy who is present right now, Darren Brown, the intern, the official intern of the 108. And they'll move on. The winner's going to move on to face number 7, Biggins, the 108ing Hall of Famer, one of the OGs, the original 108 crew member. Next matchup is number 10, Amy Nominson. She's going to face off with number 13, Polish with Extra Onions. And the winner of this matchup will move on to Friday, March 19th and have to face off with Queernsey. And then the last matchup of the first round, Thursday, March 18th, is the number 8 seed and newcomer, 108 Morton. That's right. My dog is in the tournament this year, has a Twitter account, is in the tournament, faces number 15, Uncle Rico.
Oh,
and the winner of this matchup will go on to face Mrs. Beefloaf, the number 5 seed, on Friday, March 19th. My Sux Summer, you look like you're chomping at the bit to talk about the 108 Morton and Uncle Rico matchup.
So King Nam stopped by. Well, yeah, no, let's start that one. Yeah. I'm gonna get a message, text message very soon. I know that Uncle Rico is at the spring training game, but he's gonna see this. Maybe he won't see it. Maybe I'll get it tomorrow morning. But he's gonna be like, "What the fuck? A dog? I'm going against a dog?" And I want to be like, "Yeah." And you know what? You're gonna lose because that's just the way it is. So yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is it's gonna get nuts. So.
I'm really looking forward to Morton running through this because so many people are going to be pissed that they're losing to a dog. It's going to be like the Will Ferrell bit where he's dissing his dog, and it's just going to be like, because you're a fucking dog. That's what I want everyone to say to that Twitter account throughout it.
Does Ace have a Twitter account, Dave, that he can vote for Morton and give him some plug or what?
No, he doesn't have a Twitter account. I'm not a suburban mom yet.
Yet.
Oh, a little shot, huh, Dave? Keep it up, buddy. Huh?
We got breaking news.
I'm going to tell you guys this. One, first of all, dogs play in any situation, so fucking Morton might win the entire tournament.
You're goddamn right.
And 2, I swore to everybody I wasn't going to do any endorsements this year because I don't want to play favorites. I want to be unbiased, impartial. But I'm looking at the bracket right now, and I see one name. And this name is a degenerate. He's a womanizer. He's a scumbag. He's a liability. And he is fucking awesome. And I'm not talking about anybody other than Wally. I love that. I love that motherfucker. We've gone out a handful of times, like one-on-one, like, off camera, off Twitter and all that shit. And that guy is my kind of guy. I might have to, if he needs a bump, which I don't think he will. If anybody knows anything about White Sox Twitter, Wally's like balls deep all over White Sox Twitter.
Yeah.
Amongst many, many, many other things.
Yes.
And I might have to endorse him. I'm just saying that now, but I love Wally. I love Wally to go to the Final Four and beyond me. Even though I love dogs, I'd give Morton a nice little ear rub right now if I was with him. But I think Wally's going to have it.
Wow, that's a huge endorsement right there.
How's
Mr.
that
Hand,
make
what do you
feel,
think,
Mr. Hand?
Go fuck yourself, huh, Mr. Hand? Is that what I just heard?
Could you have at least bought me dinner first before you fuck me like that?
Hey, he fucked you right to your face. He didn't backstab you in the face,
Yeah, but he could have
bro.
bought me dinner first.
Wow.
I lost to Wally last year. all that requires is I have to get him bail money when he goes out and celebrates whipping my ass again.
Exactly. That's what
And
makes
it sounds like I might have to have bail money for Dave too.
He's gonna be there.
I've gone out with Wally like 2 or 3 times after Sox games. I'm not going to say what I wanted to say because I'm not going to pull a Jacob and I'm not going to get the point.
Yes.
Who's Jacob, Dave? Who's Jacob, Dave?
I want to, but I'm not going to. Let's just say there's like, I'm surprised that like law enforcement wasn't involved because of the amount of booze we drank and what we did because of the booze we drank in the handful of times I've been out with them. I'll say that. It got a little destructive.
Hey, just remember, in the words of Wally, if you can't remember, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
True. He does say that a lot.
So Darren, I haven't never had anyone on the show with us who's getting their first tournament appearance. What do you think about being in the tournament?
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I think it's, what we previously mentioned before. The last year I was one of your snubs, and now today I'm part of the tournament, and this year I'm part of the tournament show.
Yep.
And so having that moment last year where you're running through, it was kind of close throughout the year, just being a hair away from making it. Now this year I'm actually in it, and I'm in the 108 region with some other 108 legends, including 108 Hall of Famer. It's just nice to be here.
And plus, Beefloaf respects you more than he respects Uncle Rico, who's been there since the beginning, because he didn't put you against a dog. So that's nice.
Yeah.
He
But
got
he
the
put you
dog, and I
against
got the hot dog king.
Yeah, put him against a hot dog. Exactly.
That's respectful, bro. That's respectful.
That's right. Now I got one more question for Dave. So if Wally does run the gamut here and goes to the finals and wins it, are you going to sing One Shining Moment to him?
No, I'm not going to. I mean, if he does win, here's the thing about Walt. Like, as crazy as he is, he's very consistent, I feel like, with his craziness. So I don't think he'll be any more or less crazy because he won it. I think that's just like he's innately crazy, and he'll just be crazy because that's who he is. And that's why
he'll forget about it in a week.
I'm so drawn to that. So
can I just say something, White Sox Dave? The fact that you're drawn to Wally money is not a good thing. It's like I'm your drunk uncle, which I am. That's not a good thing. It's probably not a good thing for you. I'm not going to stop you from doing it. I'm just going to say maybe it's not the best for you.
I fully understand that. But that's why people like me, like, I'm not even talking about on the internet or anything. Like, people like me, because I like to go out and I'm like, let's have a fucking night. Like, let's get after it. And I'm not even talking about like drinking absurdly. I'm like, let's make a story tonight. And that's Wally to a T. And that's why I love him.
Absolutely.
That's true.
One thing before we move on from this region, one thing from the comments, and I need my Sox Summer to help me out with this. White Sox Sal says, why does the intern get to talk?
Hey, Sal, go fuck yourself and shut the fuck up, bro.
Hey, can the intern
right.
let the intern say it to him too?
Well, we don't want to sully his reputation yet.
That's
okay,
true.
He might go on to be a real professional. We can't have him saying those types of things.
Sal, I have nothing but respect for you.
That a boy. There you go.
Well, now go fuck yourself, Darren, and go fuck yourself, Sal. No, don't respect that motherfucker. No, you can respect him. He's a nice guy. I mean, but you're in that shithole Texas, so no big deal. Whatever.
All right. Before we move on to the next bracket, just one quick note on this. I can't wait for the 25th to beat the ever living shit out of my Sox Summer. And now let's move on to the next one.
You need it, bro. You need it.
Oh, here it is. Dave, this is you, buddy. Dave, you're telling us about this bracket.
Well, I mean, all right. First things first. Is KenWO, that half-wit moron? Why is his name all hyphenated or not hyphenated? What's the word I'm looking for? Like,
it almost looks like spray paint or something like that. It's like
it looks like it was written with crayons.
Emboldened?
It's his region, baby.
Like, one thing that I love about Ken more than fucking anything, and people think that I hate Ken. That is far from the truth. I think his opinion sucks. 99%
Yes.
of the time. But he is sincere, he's authentic, and he stands by that. And I can respect the fuck out of that. But what I like the most about him is he is impervious to getting made fun of. Like, you could say the most disgusting, vile, like cancelable thing you want at him, and he doesn't care. I'm on the internet for my like actual job and profession and all that shit. There's things to me that trigger me where I'll want to kill a motherfucker. Ken just bounces off him. It's unbelievable. I don't understand it. I'm like, I want to say to him, if I didn't think it'd make his already fat head even fatter, I want to say to him, teach me your ways.
Oh God, you'll never hear the end of that, Dave.
No, I know. I hope he's not watching because I don't need him to hear this. And I know he's watching because he's a fucking mom with kids at home and shit, like teaching him how to play T-ball and everything. Poorly, might I add. I'm not talking about you, Sean the Bomb. I'm saying instruction's bad. But like he's got nothing better to do. But I think like his videos when he would do this against me every year, like Eddie would tell me that he would vote for Ken because like Eddie would be just, doing whatever Eddie's doing. And Ken would make him laugh out loud. Like Eddie will send me tweets all the time with like a take of Ken's, and he's like, "I love this guy. I love this guy." Yeah, on the dog walk one day, he's like, "You think he'd go on the dog walk?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'll go on the dog." He doesn't give a shit. Probably a tenured CPS employee, Like he would have to commit like some felony to get fired. Like he'll go on the dog walk, So I think Ken's just gonna completely march through this bracket. I don't think it's gonna be particularly close. And I only wish that I was in the tournament for the sole reason of just putting him back in his place a little bit.
That was outstanding, better than we could have absolutely fucking hoped for. Let me go through the matchups really quick. So KenWO's bracket is called the Gauntlet, and it is going to be just him with matchups all the way to the end. So Ken on Saturday, March 20th has to face off in the hot match with Sarcastic Sox Fan. After Ken whoops his ass, he moves on to the next round in the extra hot match with Liam Menus on Tuesday, March 23rd. After he pummels someone who's part of the Ken stable, Liam Menus, mind you.
Oh, I know. This is a weird thing to me. Like Ken and King Mac are like the same people.
They're buddy. He's got to move on to face King Mac on Friday, March 26th, who he'll probably clap up and destroy. And then on Saturday, March 27th, he would get a chance to face off against one of his arch rivals, P. Knowles. And that's KenWO's route to the final 8, the KenWO Gauntlet. Any of you want to try to follow up White Sox Dave on all that shit?
Just a heads up. Our sponsor, Buffalo Wings and Rings, over on 3434 South Halstead. These are the heat levels on the wings. You can get them on boneless and regular. That's hot, extra hot, atomic, and off the menu, death.
Ooh,
So hot,
baby.
you can't even get
You
it.
guys ever done the death?
I've never done
I've not eaten the death.
No, I've not done the death.
All right,
No.
real quick story for you guys. So I love spicy. The spicier, the hotter. I love that kind of shit. Like I go out of my way to eat as hot as I can. So I'm sure you guys have all seen Man vs. Food, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a challenge out in Naperville, like Crosstown Pub. It's one of my favorite wing places in the city or in the Chicagoland area. I'm sorry to all those actually from Chicago. Anyways,
Suburban bitch.
It's some fucking hot wing challenge. You got to eat 10. You got to sign a waiver. You got to wear the scientist goggles, all that shit. And at the time, this is when I was in college. Two people had done it, and it was 2 people from India. And apparently, I guess Indian people have like a higher tolerance for heat and spicy food. And I guess they breezed through it. Other than that, no one had beaten the challenge. And I'm like, I could fucking do this, no problem. I got through 6 out of 10 and started puking my brains out. Unbelievable pain. I'm puking in a urinal at this place, by the way.
That's classy.
as I'm like unqueezing myself, I'm pounding milk. I'm pounding a pitcher, like I'm holding it in my hand, a pitcher of Miller Lite, and I'm like, this is hell. I'm never doing anything like that again. Fuck that. And so I like clean up and everything. I go to walk home because I stayed in the bathroom for like an hour, and all my friends had left. They're like, all right, fuck this. He's like, he can go to the hospital or what, he can figure it out on. I had washed my hands well enough, like got all the shit off my face, out of my fingers. No. I go to take a piss, and guess what happens?
Dick got on fire.
Oh, no.
I had like little residue, I guess, on it, and it burned unbelievably bad. It was I thought I had the worst pain of my life like an hour earlier. I was wrong. The worst pain of my life was when I touched my dick with the fucking I duck walked home, like my feet are like 5 feet apart. I'm like wobbling home. I get in the shower and lay on my back and just start glumping shampoo and conditioner on my
that doesn't work.
It still didn't work. And I'm I'm sitting with like the rain falling on me and everything. Nope, didn't work. And I just had to ride it out. Probably, I mean, honestly, Wally probably deals with this every day.
Now, my Sock Summer, what would you recommend to cool off your peen if you got some of that residue on there? You pour buttermilk down the hole, or what are you doing? How are you doing?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know exactly what you do. I'm not gonna. Well, I will. My dad used to grow a lot of peppers and like give them to me, and sometimes be like, "Yeah, these are sweet. Don't worry about it." And then some would be hot because he'd forget, and then I would cut the peppers without gloves. And then maybe later that night, I got, maybe I had enough, Goose Island. I was like, let's see what's going on. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the same position as Dave. I end up like, taking care of business. And then all of a sudden I'm like, uh-oh, like, why? What is going on? And I was like, that fucking pepper was hot. And then, yeah, it's bad news, man. So I've been in that same position too. So that's not fun.
That's gross.
Oh, it was called Devil's Sweat. It was bad. It was bad. So I would try the deathmatch one though.
All right, we'll get you in there.
I was going to rip on a lot of people. I like P. Knowles. I think King Mac. Oh, here's something funny about King Mac. He was yelling at me for being from the suburbs, and he's like, "We can find someone else to start Redline Radio or to be the Sox fan from like the actual South Side." I'm like, hey, motherfucker, I started it. Do you think I'm just going to hand away my job in my life to find someone that is 5 miles south of the city instead of 20 miles west of the city? Like wrong, dude. Like wrong. So King Mac, you're out. I'm looking forward to the P. Knowles versus KenWO because I know those guys have contributed to the same site and everything for forever. Not that KenWO's with them anymore or anything, but I know those guys like each other, but they don't want to lose to each other at the same time. So I think that'll be a fun matchup.
Yeah, totally agree. And for those of you out there who don't realize, we've been talking a lot of mess about KenWO. He's a fucking teddy bear. We've had him on the podcast. We've had him on other shows. He's a sweetheart. Don't let that tough auxiliary fool you. All right, he's just a soft, fat suburban dad. There's nothing different.
A big, greasy, soft, fat suburban
dad. Bud Light Lime drinking motherfucker. Yep. That's what he is. True.
He does love nice Bud Light Lime.
He does love lime.
When we did the podcast with him, we had to drink 2 cases of that shit.
I think Dave died.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He went out on a high note.
Yeah,
he's like Costanza. He's like Costanza.
So,
went out on a high note.
While we're waiting for just a second, I'm telling this story about pepper burns, and I'm looking at Darren's face, and Darren's face was just so like, what the fuck have I got myself into? And now he's like, man, I probably shouldn't tell my parents that I'm interning with the 108 guy.
No, that's not what he was looking at you like that for, my Sock Summer. He's saying kids today know how to jerk off without burning up their goddamn dick. That's what he was thinking. I was thinking it too. I was thinking, and out in the sticks, they don't know how to jerk off. They don't know how to keep their hands clean before they jerk off. That's all I'm thinking.
I love when you say the sticks, because that's that. I was
whatever the cornfields, whatever the fuck,
I know it is the sticks. You're right. You're 100% right.
Hey, Jacob. Sorry, I'm on my phone now. The internet on my computer cut out. But didn't you live out west at one point in your life?
I did. I lived in Huntington Beach. I was like a mile off the ocean. It was dope as dope could be. It was so
Dude,
choice.
that's fucking awesome. What have you ever been to Arizona?
You know what? I used to live in Phoenix. I used to live
What?
Yes. I used to live
I
up in North
fucking
Phoenix.
love Phoenix. I want to move to Scottsdale. Actually, I want to have a winter home in Scottsdale one day.
Listen, Uncle Rico, who's gonna get beat by the dog, he's got a house in Clean Creek. You can go chill out there. So yeah, he will let you
Dave.
come in his house anytime. Plus, he smokes meat. He's like a really good like cook and shit. So yeah, he's a good time.
What
Hey,
would
fun-
happen if Wally and I one day just all of a sudden like Uncle Rico wakes up and we're just like on his couch like passed the fuck out with a gaggle of women?
Wally's
Uncle
already
Rico-
been there.
Yes, and Uncle Rico would want to know where the bobbleheads are.
Yeah,
Wally, why didn't you bring me my bobbleheads?
just bring him a couple bobbleheads, couple giveaways. He don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Give him one of those sweatshirts that you guys gave away today. He'll love that shit.
Oh, so that's the price of admission? Oh, that's done.
There you go.
That's easy. Just don't let Portnoy know that I stole some because I got a couple.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Lips are sealed, man. Lips are
Yeah,
sealed.
next time we talk to Portnoy, we won't bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bring that up.
My Suck Summer, when you lived on the West Coast, though, how many times did you jerk off with a handful of jalapenos?
0 fucking times, bro.
Well, he
Because
learned. He's smartened up by then. You smartened up.
I'll tell you this, and this is what was going on. I had just moved back from the West Coast, and I was working for Farmer Matt, and I was in my late 30s, and or mid to late 30s, and I was working for him at a roadside stand selling corn and vegetables and shit. And then during the day, and then at night, I would take home a half a dozen corn. I would have a 6-pack of like beer, whatever beer I was drinking at the time, a lot of High Life. And I would go out in the river. I was living right off the river, and I would go and grill a bunch of brats, grill a bunch of peppers, and put the White Sox on the stereo, turn it really loud, and just sit in the river for like 6 beers, and then come up and eat whatever fresh vegetables I had sold that day or stolen from my cousin. And then I would pass the fuck out because I was terrified, because I had been living in such an urban setting for so long. And now I was like, there was nobody around me at all. The silence was deafening. And I learned what that actually meant. And it was just I'm going to get murdered. Like somebody's going to come out here and just fucking murder me. And no one's going to know. So I'm going to get shit hammered and then just pass the fuck out. Cause I get too worked up if I think about it. So
You
that's
know
what I
who
did.
he sounds like?
Who?
It sounds
Matt-
like he's Matt Foley living
Yes.
in a van down by the river.
It was a cabin, Pete. Fucker.
Close enough. That's close enough. God damn it.
It's a dope cabin. It was a dope cabin.
Oh, we
Fuck. How
Lost
we
Dave
losing
again.
that
we
to
lose
me?
Dave every 5 minutes.
That's okay.
fine.
He'll come back.
It's-
Or he
I
won't.
think it's-
We'll see.
Beef, is it time for the McRib region? by
I
any
think it
chance?
is. I think
Did
it's
we
time
lose
to move into
Darren
that.
too?
Let's do it.
No,
No,
Darren's
Darren's right
here,
here,
man.
baby.
What the
Darren's
fuck?
there.
Fucking handsome
What
as
is it?
hell, man.
If we lost Darren, we'd lose the whole.
Oh, that would be bad.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Yeah.
a whole lot of
Dave's
fucked
back.
if we lose Darren.
There's Dave.
I'm
He's on his
back on my
computer now.
computer. My phone was about to die. It looks like the internet's back in the side room.
Ooh,
For the-
look at you,
Ooh,
man.
Yeah.
All right, so McRib region. These matchups, half of them are going to start on Friday, March 19th, and that's the top side of the bracket. The bottom side of the bracket will line up first round on Sunday, March 21st. We mixed it up a little bit this year. The number 1 seed in the McRib region is fan since 1962, and he's going to face off against the number 16 seed Soul Glow Sox fan. Soul Glow Sox fan has the picture of Eric LaSalle from Coming to the original Coming to America often as his avatar. And the next matchup is the number 8 seed Southside Mofo against the number 9 seed GD, also in parentheses at Yasmani Grandal. I had no idea who this Twitter user was, but a couple weeks before the tournament, I put a tweet out there and said, "Hey, who should be in this tournament?" And there was such a response for this person. So I don't know much of their work, but I'm going to put them in here in the 9th spot, see what they can do. The next matchup is the number 5 seed, the infamous White Sox Slater, against the number 12 seed O'Haracan Dream. And O'Haracan Dream is in the tournament because of one single tweet. It was a election day review of a poll about Tony La Russa that I thought was absolutely hilarious. Once in a while, I let someone in for one fucking goddamn tweet that I really enjoyed, and that was that. The number 4 seed, Mailman Jack, fan favorite, been in this tournament a million times, is going to face off the number 13 seed, Huckleberry. Now let's move on to the Sunday, March 21st first round read matchups. We've got number 3, Unprotected Socks, facing off against my guy, my protector, guy who would be part of my Mafia family when we were drafting them, Doughboy SVO, the number 14 seed.
Yeah.
The number 6 seed, MF Dirty, Michelle Firth, longtime person, been
OG.
involved with 108 stuff, an original person who hung out with us back in the day.
In the first 108 tourney, and I think this is her first time back in it.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think she was in the very first one 4 years ago, and this is her first time back. and she's up in this place, and she's going to face off the number 11 seed, Jeff Muggs, who is mine and Terezi's favorite graphic designer.
Yep.
Number 7
Mine
seed.
too, after that Jeff Hassan. Yeah. Yep.
The number 7 seed, Austin Zick, is going to face off with the number 10 seed and fellow full season ticket holder, Sox's Wendell. And finally, the number 2 seed, longtime guy, Sox Nerd. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. He's been a number 1 seed in this tournament before, hasn't fared that well. Is going to face off against the number 15 seed and one of my personal Twitter favorites. And I hadn't seen her tweeting for a while, but then about the month running up to the tournament, I saw her out there again tweeting, and that's Robin Richards. So that's the McRib region. I'd love to get your reactions. I'd love to start with Teresa E. Teresa, give me something on the McRib region.
So, man, I mean, this is so first fan since 1962. So I think most people know John. He was electric on the holiday show, on the Festivus show.
Festivus. Yeah.
I mean, he showed up he was like, I remember we were getting ready to do that show during the day. Like we were chatting, and there was a picture of him from like a bar, and it was like 3 p.m, and we're like, he doesn't come onto the show till like 10:30. They're like,
he's never going to show up.
Is he going to actually show up? And he showed up, and he had not taken a break. He was fantastic. He was
I'll
awesome.
be honest with you. I thought at first he impressed Eddie Barstool, and then by the end he terrified Eddie Barstool, and Eddie left because of him. I think Eddie loved him at the beginning, and then by the end, Dave, can you confirm that Eddie really enjoyed John Mayers, the big guy who's a Bears fan since 1962, and then he left because he was too crazy.
Eddie is the most even-keeled human in the history of people. It's impossible to get a read on the dude. He's never not angry. He's never not happy. He's just always Eddie. And so if you think he loved him, he probably went like one variation to the right. And if that's the case, like I didn't notice it. But if that's the case, then he probably was like, that's my kind of guy.
Well, I don't think he was that's my kind of guy by the end. But the guy that I think I can make a run in this region, if I'm looking at this, is probably Unprotected Socks. I like that dude's account, and I feel like he'll go all in on this. So I'm expecting to see. I love Mailman Jack, but I expect Unprotected Socks to make the run in this region.
Is there any specific 12/5 upsets you see in the McRib region? Let's start with my Summer. Go.
You know who I like? This. I honestly believe that it's Unprotected Socks' bracket to lose, but I also think that Mailman Jack has a very solid chance at getting to the end. I also think Austin has a good chance of getting to the end too. He just needs to fucking ramp it up. Listen to his boy Sam. Do some fun shit on the Twitters. Don't get so cocky. Don't be so much of an asshole. Actually, just get out there, be with the people. Get the people behind you. Austin.
Now I noticed that you completely dodged this.
I did.
My question.
I don't think Slater's losing first round.
12/5 upsets.
I don't think that's happening.
I will make sure that happens because White Sox
Slater's gonna win.
Fucking dick. Oh no, I said I wasn't endorsing anybody. I don't think I've ever interacted with O'Hurricane Dreams in my life. He's now my best fucking friend. Okay. So if you're watching this right now, go and vote for O'Hurricane Dreams. And if you're not watching it, I will make sure that you are like, I will direct for You have complete and total endorsement, O'Haracan Dreams.
Man, that guy's sitting there watching this like my
I've
dick
had a little
moved.
beef with this Slater cat before, so that's just how it goes.
Mr. Hand, what do you got to say about this region?
Real quick, I want to just make sure of something so that we get the drinking rules right. Dave,
I did get a little angry. Right? I got a little angry.
Okay, good.
I got a little angry at the mere sight of his fucking name. Mac, I'm pissed right now.
I put you on tilt. The bracket has put you on tilt. That's what we're hearing right now.
Dave, you're pissed. Would have never known.
Mr. Hand.
I actually think I could see, unprotected Sox. I agree. I think he's the favorite, but I think Jeff Muggs can make a run because I could see him putting out some artwork. And after all, you guys all admitted he's your favorite graphic artist now.
Yeah, even me.
Yeah. So I could see him doing it. And I mean, come on. Robin Richards said some nice things to me, so of course I'm going for her. And it looks like we just lost Chirizi.
Oh no, he just put it on
taking
mute
a
for
shit.
himself. He's got to take a deuce. He's probably doing something up.
He's got to poop.
Those are the notes that those are the notes we got from Mrs. Beefloaf. When we're gonna not be on, we put ourselves on mute and we get out of here. Darren, what do you think about this bracket? Give us a little something, intern. You're allowed to talk. Fuck intern. White Sox Sal. I want to hear your opinion on this bracket. Let's go, baby.
I would agree with the overall vibe. I think the favorite is Unprotected Sox here. I think it'll be him against our good friend John Mayers. Mentioned, but I'm really glad that you added GD into the bracket. He's a guy I've talked to a little bit over the last couple months last year. And one person that I wasn't sure based on 108 interaction if he would catch your eye, but I'm really glad that, like you said, you had a lot of people that recommended him to be in the tournament. I think as far as branding and marketing, he might be a dark horse. I don't think he'll beat John Mayers, but I wouldn't be surprised just based on how he is able to market himself and how far he goes with it.
That's awesome. I love that because I would have not gotten that insight. And I agree with you, Darren. I'm glad that I listened a little bit to the crowd. I try to listen to the crowd, but then also the crowd will tell me some shit and I'm thinking to myself, nah, that Twitter account sucks. I'm not putting them in. I can't always listen, but I feel like I'm watching it as much as anybody else, but I appreciate that feedback. And I would love it if a 9 seed made a nice run in one of these tournaments. I mean, usually what it's been so far since we've been doing these things have been materially chalk.
Yeah, a lot of talk.
Well, we know Dave wants a 12 seed to make a run.
I
at least for one round, apparently.
Yes, exactly.
One round, yeah.
Loaf, to add to your theory, our man Alex Rude is saying that GD is the ultimate sleeper. So Alex Rude knows his shit. So we gotta respect Alex Rude.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I did not know that account really well until there was a lot of that chatter out there. I'm glad I listened to the crowd. This could get really interesting. And this bracket especially, I even talked to you guys before. I'm like, should we beef up and add like a 3 or a 2 from another region and drop them in here to kind of strengthen it up? And we didn't. We kind of left it the way it was. And so it could be wild. I mean, we could get a wild result out of this bracket. It won't be as chalky like we were talking about, Dave. These things have been very chalky the last 3 years that we've done them. I'd love to see a big upset come out of one of these things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what March Madness is about in general, right? Is everybody's typically rooting for the underdog unless you're like an alumnus or a fan of a high seed. So I would love if, anybody not named White Sox Slater would make a run in this. If you're that's just how it goes.
All right. Any last thoughts on this bracket?
I think Austin would make it. Sox nerds obviously great. Looking at it, I think Austin has potential. And Austin, I'll say this about Austin. We've talked about this with a few other people in this bracket or in this region rather. Austin's got the Photoshop and the movie editing skills, which can be a big asset in a tournament like this.
Yep.
He's also the guy that gives shits to Canadian foreign exchange students when they're singing the national anthem over there at the U.S. Cellular. So he's got like the good and the bad with him. Like he's got to show the good side more, you know. I'll make that run.
I've seen the good side. I mean, he's a dick though, which is part of the reason I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do too. I mean, that's exactly. That's why we like him too.
If you're nice, then like I got, you know, acquaintances, I'll say, that like I just times when we'll like be out drinking and they're so polite to you and their conversation is so well thought out and everything. I'm like, dude, can you please just call me an asshole or something? Mm-hmm. Austin's got
He's a zick.
Yeah. See? Good move. Good move.
My Sock Summer.
Yeah.
Why don't you pay some bills?
Buffalo Wings and Rings, home of all-star flavors. Come catch all the White Sox action at the ultimate sports restaurant. From the fresh, never frozen wings and gourmet sandwiches to the world-famous house-made blue cheese dip. And this isn't bar food, it's Ray's the bar food. Watching at home, you could be the MVP with the new Build Your Own Nacho and Loaded Potato Bars. Order on the Wings and Rings app and score convenient curbside pickup. Buffalo Wings and Rings in Bridgeport, where all-star flavors will knock your taste buds out of the park. Reserve your table today. 3434 South Halstead. Fucking Google that shit if you want their phone number, motherfucker. That's how you do an ad read.
Do people still call restaurants? I feel like so. I haven't called an actual restaurant in forever. Like I guess I've called restaurants when I'm like, I'm parked outside, bring my food out. That's like the extent of me calling a restaurant.
You know what I'll do, Terezi, is I will call a restaurant because I am one that refuses to use a third-party system to deliver my food or to order my food, you know? So, yeah, if I'm not using the app, because sometimes, you know what?
But like none of them have that anymore because like you don't have to go through Grubhub for like any of this shit anymore because you can go directly to those. Like that's one thing that came out of the pandemic is that like everyone got their own ordering system down.
That's true. Although I will say that there's some places in the neighborhood over here that I have to still call to go pick up. And I'm not going to mention them because they did not give us any money to sponsor this tournament. So Buffalo Wings and Rings, I'm still going to call you even if you got a fucking app because I'm old school.
All right, man. I think it's time for the Wave Sucks bracket.
Nice. Good job,
Oh,
Darren.
Baby, that's gorgeous. I love the Wave Sucks graphic that My Sock Summer made a long time ago. It's still a classic shirt. I wish one of us was wearing it right now. Unfortunately, we're not. So the Wave Sucks region. The first matchups are going to be on Saturday, March 20th, followed by the other grouping of the first round is going to be on Sunday, March 21st. We'll start with those Saturday matchups. We've got the number 3 seed Tom Paints is going to be facing off against the number 14 seed Pete Chapman. We've got the number 6 seed Alex Rude, who we were just talking about up in the comments. And he's going to be facing off against the number 11 seed Sister from the Shy. Now, I don't know how much White Sox Sister from the Shy tweets, but her Twitter account is absolutely fucking hilarious. And I couldn't not put her in this tournament. She might not even, I mean, we follow each other, but she might not even know what the fuck this is and look at the Twitter poll and be like, you know, don't put me in this shit. I don't know, but I don't care. All right. The number 7 seed also on Saturday, March 20th is White Sox History. And White Sox History will go against the number 10 seed, Delia Catherine. And then the last matchup on Saturday, March 20th is going to be the number 2 seed, Jordan Lazowski, against the number 15 seed, Luke Taylor. So that's one half of the Wave Sucks region. The upper part of the Wave Sucks region, which will be playing on Sunday, March 21st for their first round games, is the number 1 seed, Shy Sox fan Mike. And he's going to face off with the number 16 seed, Willie P. The next matchup is Jose Munoz, longtime guy, the number 8 seed. He always checks in at the Sunday Soak and gives us a video question, which I absolutely fucking love. And Jose Munoz, the 8 seed, will face off with the number 9 seed, Carrie, that baseball fan, the number 9 seed. The next matchup is a fan favorite of this group right here, the number 5 seed, Tony DeMimbo, awesome guy. One of the best out there, facing off against the number 12 seed AJ Early. And the last matchup of this region is the number 4 seed, Showtime Sam, who worked his ass off to get up here and get a nice high seed in this region, is going to face off against the number 13 seed, Steve-O from the Sons of Honarchy.
Can I say something about that one? I want to
it.
say something about that one because this is specifically to Steve. So you were not in the tournament. Beef had taken you out.
You were out, Steve.
And me and My Sock Summer said, no, you got to put them against Showtime Sam. They got to have a rap battle. There's got to be a fucking first round rap battle. We said it has to happen. And if you let me down, I will fucking never listen to your podcast again.
Yeah, I mean, he was not in, and I didn't think he had done enough in the past year. The year before, he had a great year. Sons of Honarchy podcast was on the come. He ate like 50 hot dogs in the dollar dog competition. The guy only weighs like 83 pounds. I mean, it was like, the guy's really doing some shit. And then we had them on 3 things. We had him and Tommy on 3 things. And then I didn't hear shit from them the rest of the year. It's like we had them on in like May, and like I was like, it got to the end of the year. I'm like, wait, where is Steve? Like I don't.
We said we're like we'll come on your podcast, and they're like, nah, we don't want you fat motherfuckers on our podcast.
They don't want us.
That's how I felt. Okay, Steve. I don't know why you got to do that to us. Why you got to do us like that? We would have come on your podcast, and you said no. We don't want you fat fucks on this podcast. I get it.
Rap battle. Bring it back. Let's get the relationship started back up.
Bring it up.
I have another comment or two here, Beef, for you.
Go for it, baby.
I can't believe how fucking dirty you did both Luke Taylor and Willie P. I love those guys. And you're like, I'm gonna put you guys in the tournament to get fucking destroyed. That's what you did to them.
I put the training wheels on them. Okay, I like them both a lot too, but you know, when you're trying to line this thing up, you've got to it's got to be a longer term thing, right? These guys are kind of newer to this, and I was like, oh man, where do I fit them in? And they're kind of sacrificial lambs, right? They're gonna get bodied the first round, but I'm big fans of them. I'll continue to watch them. They got a chance to move late in next year's tournament for sure.
I mean, to be fair, if there's anybody that knows anything about bodying, it's you. Because of Jeff Passan. So, I mean, I get it.
Hey, My Sock Summer, look I got both of these for you, buddy. What do you think about that, huh?
Nah, that's great. That's a good one.
You know what, Beef, though? The one name in here that just kind of makes me think just back to the before times is Tony DeMimbo, because I remember me, you, Dave, and Tony DeMimbo hanging out right before we could never hang out again.
Yes.
I could hate both of
that
you.
was like right at the cusp of it. It was the NBA Jam tournament.
That was almost a year ago to like, what's the date? The 11th right now?
Yeah.
That was, or it was like February 26th.
February 15th.
Is that what it was? Okay. So
it was
like a month.
It was somewhere around there because my nephew's birthday is February 15th, and I was all hyped. I was like, we got to go to this. This is going to be dope. They're going to play NBA Jam, and I don't give 2 shits about that. I just want to hang out with the Barstool crowd. I want all that stuff. And then I'm like, I check my calendar, and I'm like, fuck, I got to go home for my nephew's birthday. So I said to him at his birthday, you're making me miss something very important, so you better fucking goddamn enjoy my presence, motherfucker. And that's what I said.
I'm sure he was disappointed.
It probably was
All
a 108
jokes
t-shirt.
Like the one event we've ever done where I'm like, holy shit, like Barstool's Chicago is like doing something pretty cool right now. There was like fucking 800 people here for that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was wild. It was so packed back there.
Yeah. Keep dumping salt in my gaping fucking wound, assholes. All right.
What's funny that night is we get there and we're hanging out in the back, Treasy, and we had called Matt, or we messaged Matt Berkland, so we were hanging out with him, and then we ran into Billy, and then we saw Tony DeMimbo, and we're talking to him by the side of the stage, and he's telling us all these fucking wild stories. And I'm thinking to myself, how is this guy still alive or not in jail after all this shit? Like the shit he was telling us, I was thinking, oh my God, I hope the punchline isn't like you went away for 10 years. Like that's kind of what I was thinking the entire time during that. And I remember we hung out there and we hung out with Dave, and then we went on to Declan's after that, and we're at Declan's for like 90 minutes. And Berkland comes with us, and Dave leans over to me and goes, who's that kid right there? And he'd been hanging with us for 7 hours.
Oh, I've never met him before. I had never met him before that. I'm like, hey, like, do we know this guy? I'm like, I remember seeing it.
It's amazing.
And I had never met him before that night, but I interacted with him on Twitter like a million different times. So they're like, yeah, it's Matt Berkman. I'm like, ah, fuck. Because I remember he was like talking to me like we knew each other. And I'm like, I feel bad because I don't know this guy's name. And then you like said it. I was like, fuck, I feel like a fucking dick. So yeah, like Matt, that one was actually him and Sam and I think Austin, they wound up at my apartment in like May. Like a few months after that. Like, I mean, we were obviously breaking quarantine rules and shit. But all those guys came to my place. And we just like drank fucking booze in my apartment for a night.
Nice.
So I made it up to him, I think, kind of ish. Sorry for being a dick.
I don't think you were a dick. You didn't let him know. You kind of whispered it to me, like, "What the fuck is this?" Mr. Hand, what do you think about this bracket? Give me a lowdown on this bracket right here.
Well, I really like Luke. I really like Willie P. I think you did do them dirty. I understand your rationale for doing them dirty, but I think you did do them dirty. You know?
I would agree with that. Luke Taylor, that's like my first snub of the tournament. He should have been way higher, I think.
There you go.
Oh, man. Everyone is agreeing with this.
Yeah.
God.
I think that's like I would like Jordan does awesome shit. Luke does awesome shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's like a Sweet 16 matchup, not a 2 versus 15 matchup, personally.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't be shocked
In
at
your
all.
face, beef.
Well, I obviously fucked up. I mean, that's part of making a bracket. You fuck up some stuff, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tom Paints is watching, but as soon as, let's say that I hit a big parlay coming up, like I'm going to get him to, what's it called? Commissioning?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to get him to commission like a nice ass fucking White Sox paint job for me when I have the money. Because I mean, I have no idea what he charges. It should be a fuck ton because he does awesome work. And I want like a nice like 6x6 canvas to hang on my like apartment wall one day.
And you
do it. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You got a wall that's 6x6?
His current core wins the World Series. I want him to paint something awesome, and I'll pay like, if I have to, thousands for it, assuming I can afford to drop money on a paint job.
I got to show you guys one thing from Tom Paints. This is the original print he did for this
that
I had framed.
Awesome work, man. Awesome.
Yeah, he does a great job. He's an awesome guy too. We drank with him at Cork one night. Like he came into town
when it was pouring, right?
There was a day game. Yeah. Yes.
He lives in LA, I want to say, right?
Yeah.
So he probably doesn't make it out here more than a like homestand or 2 a year, maybe.
Right.
But
I've got a suggestion. Oh, go ahead.
He's from like NWI though, right? Like I think that's where he's from.
He's a region guy.
I think he's a local guy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dave, I've got a suggestion for the painting. Actually, you have Tom paint the core of this White Sox team around you, but it's not just you. You are a centaur. And so you're coming out of the horse body, like you're up above them a little bit. I mean, what do you think about that? Something tasteful, but slightly sexual. How about that?
This is what I want to do.
I got an idea for Tom.
Tony Soprano horse picture with
yes. You and Pyomai. You have your hand on Pyomai.
I want it on Pyomai, but it'll be on like Luis Roberts' ass or something.
Right. Like Pyomai could be like a centaur Luis Robert, and you could be like a little Napoleon. Yeah, 100%.
Boom.
We're making art right here, baby.
Done.
Hey, I got an idea for Tom Paints. Can he do the Jeff passing balls in Beefloaf's face as he's dunking on him painting?
You son of a bitch. Yep. How dare you? I see
think
that
I could do that in MS
You're dead
Paint.
to me. All right.
It'd be awesome.
Motherfuckers. Darren, you're fired, by the way. Just want to let you know. But you got to continue working for this whole show. You're fired, but you still got to stay. All right, because we're not done yet.
That's mean, Loaf.
Speaking of Darren, should we move on to the MSS Is High bracket?
Let's do it.
There
Why
we go.
not?
My Sox Summer, you're up, buddy.
Yeah.
You're
Summer
up.
Region, you dumb fuck.
Are you high?
Whatever.
Listen, I am not. I did not take no, I did not take any edibles or microdoses.
No acid, no meth, no crystal.
Nope. I quit the cigarettes too, Dave. I don't know if you read that blog. It did really good, but I haven't smoked in over a year. So it's like I'm a new man. I'm a new fat round man. So
I mean, quitting smoking makes gain weight. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I really did. I was already fat, so like it didn't gain
You
much
were.
weight. I didn't gain much weight. So it was like now I'll say this, Dave. I have known some people that have quit smoking and got ginormous, but I was already ginormous, so like there was nowhere to go.
If you're
Like, already in the
ginormous,
book.
like if you quit smoking and then all of a sudden you're like morbidly obese, what's the point of quitting smoking? And I'll ask this
Right.
question: who knows more than the fine people at the American tobacco industry?
Man,
As much as possible. You can't smoke if you're dead.
man, I tell you what, that's a good quote.
I love Kingpin. I fucking love
only-
Kingpin. How dare you?
I mean, I only worked for the major tobacco corporations for like 6 years, so I know that it's 100% safe. I never had to put warning labels on anything.
You work for them out in Long Beach, California?
No, I worked for them in Chicago. I actually used to work for Altria, which was like it's like Cope, Skoal, and Marlboro. So and Virginia Slims and all that stuff. Yeah. So
I smoke Virginia Slim still.
that's what I figured. It's a good intro cigarette, especially when you gotta steal them from your mom's. So yeah. MSS High Region. This is mine. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you this. There is not a prettier bracket of people than the MSS Is High Region. And I'm gonna tell you why. Number one seed, girl looking for an internship, Allie White Sox. She's going down. All these matches are taking place on Friday, March 19th. Allie's going against our guy, Ted Mulvaney. Number 8 seed. Now, here's our clunker. But Jason Hosking, Aussie Sox fan. He's going against my other fucking buddy, White Sox Sal. So I don't know who I can pick in this matchup because I hate both of them online equally. In real life, I love both those assholes, but they're still assholes. Next down, we got number 5 seed, Spooky Jess. She's going up against our guy, Mr. 108ing himself, Mr. Have you tried this beer? I'm by the lake and I'm drinking it now, Dave Farley at a 12 seed.
Yes.
After that, we have Region Rat in the 4 seed going against Coppertop, Jennifer Coppertop at a 13 seed. After that, we have our guy who loves Bells Two-Hearted. Might have had too many one day and couldn't walk back down to the seats in 108, Sockside Pride. Going against my friend and a guy I've probably known longer than anybody else in this brackets, John Shank, the Shankster from Lisa's Bar and Grill in Sterling, Illinois.
Yes.
Next up, I'm sorry. Sockside Pride and John Shank will be starting on Sunday, March 21st. That's when the games will start, or the matches will start. After that, my guy, I will buy you a drink. I think he owes me about 72 beers when the season starts up, so I better see you. Sam Mendelson with a 6 seed going against another guy, big Illini fan, who also tweeted today that he might not be able to get tickets for opening day. If we can help you out, we will help you out. Brandon Stokes at the 11 seed. Number 7 seed, Sox supporter, going against my girl, Colleen Sullivan. What's up, baby? Next, in the 2 seed.
That was a 90s R&B video right there for a second. Just for 1 second.
Hey, man, listen, I did real well in the... Well, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. Well, let's scratch that. Can you edit that out, Darren? With the 2 seed, our guy.
Edit that out.
From the East Coast, one of White Sox Dave's favorite people, Bennett Carroll, going against up and coming sexual man Husky Bardo at a 15 seed. Folks, Husky has already shown titty. Okay, we have to vote this man. I mean, Bennett, I love you. And this is love doing you dirty, Husky. You did more work. You did the most work to get in this bracket. And I think actually you're probably in the bracket before you even did all that work. But you did good, sir. And he showed titty, but B-Full did you dirty and put you against the big
my Sox summer. In fairness,
from the East Coast.
In fairness, before he pulled the Monina and threatened to pull a titty out, the bracket was already set, so I couldn't change it already. I loved him when his titty fell out and he was doing. I love that shit. I would have moved him up 8 spots, but I couldn't because we already were locked in. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Skin to win, baby. Skin to win. He might pull that upset. I feel like there are people that might get behind him. I feel like there are people that might get behind him on this show.
I think there's one guy that we know that might get behind a 15 over a 2 seed. And his initials might be DW. I don't know. I'm just saying. Are you contractually
You guys talking about me?
Yeah,
no. Someone else. It's another guy.
Someone else.
Don't worry about it.
No.
So I'm gonna go to my guy, Mr. Hand. Your thoughts on the MSS Is High Region?
Well,
Oh, look at him. He's got notes.
He's got
I do.
papers there. He's got
That's
important
right.
papers.
that's right.
Hey, he's like
Lord.
Marty.
Well, I can definitely see a 15 over 2 upset in this one without any underhanded play by someone with the initials DW. Also, I find the Region Rat Jennifer Coppertop matchup fascinating because I don't know who's going to be the one who gets the last word in edgewise and who's going to be the one who admits they're wrong because they're both always right. And they both will always tell you they're right, even though they could be so off fucking base, it's ridiculous. They're both still right.
You know what? I mean, I know Jen like decently well, actually pretty very well at this
biblical sense.
Hello.
Mercy. I've never met him in person, I don't believe. But in my I mean, I've had plenty of interactions with him on Twitter, and you could not have nailed that anymore. He'll be like, no, the White Sox don't have better food than this. Like, I'll be like, I'm just not going to fucking argue this because the White Sox have better food than everybody. I'm right, you're wrong. Like, Region Rat's the exact same way on Twitter. So that'll be it. Like, it's unstoppable force meets immovable object, or however that.
Yes.
There you go.
And then I have to call out one more, and that is, of course, Aussie Sox fan and fuck you, Sal, because those two will get into an argument, and I won't understand what either one of them says because who knows what the hell Jason's saying, and Sal sounds like a little munchkin from the Willy Wonka movie or from Wizard of Oz or something.
Oh, shots fired.
Like, boom, right under the nut, like nut shots.
I got a question. This is a family-friendly podcast and live show, right? Like no swearing or nothing?
Not really. You can
Yeah, we never swear, ever.
That's,
Okay.
well,
Cock balls.
okay, Dave, that's why I'm a man of questionable character.
Well, you are a man of questionable character. But since
I
we're
gotta be me.
Aussie Sox fan, am I allowed to say cunt? Because that's like
That is an acceptable word
For him, yes.
Australia, yes.
all right. Well, I can't. I love that cunt. No, he called into our serious show.
The first day you were on, I want to say.
And the like the guy who accepts the calls, he's out in DC, and he'd be like, "Okay, I think the guy said he's named Chasing." And I don't really understand him, but like he's calling to talk to Dave, and I'm like, fuck, it's an internet troll talking about how much he hates me or something. And it's this guy, and like I couldn't understand him. He's like, it's Chase, like I like an Australian accent. He's like, Jason from like Iowa White Sox. I'm like, oh, Jason. And he's like, we were talking about like using the word cunt in everyday vernacular. And he's like, I'm from Australia. I can say it all I want. Dave, you're a cunt. And I just loved it.
There's somebody else in this room that called on your first day at Sirius too, you motherfucker.
No, it was the second day, and you were complaining about the music.
Yes, I did complain about the music because it was awful. You guys are playing like John Fogerty and bullshit. Yeah, get some Chicago shit in there, you sons of bitches.
All right, a couple things. The comments want Aloha Mr. Hand to take a shot of Gentleman Jack.
Ooh.
So, Mr. Hand, when you get a chance, could you tee that up? And also, I'd like to hear Darren's thoughts on this bracket. Give us a little something on this bracket.
Do
Darren
that.
Brown.
I think between this bracket and last bracket, I am confident in saying, barring any White Sox Dave intertwining in that 215 matchup, I think this bracket and the last bracket, I can confidently say it'll be 1 versus 2, and then the one's going to win. I think Alley White Sox is definitely going to run the table here. I think Chi Sox fan Mike on the other one will definitely run that. And like I said, Bennett has a huge following, and unless Dave pushes for Bardo quite a bit, I think he's going to run that bottom part of this region.
I'll say this: Bennett and I had our differences a while back, and as much as I'm an asshole and I love spite and I love pettiness and I love being a dickhead to those who I think are a dickhead to me, he did apologize and we hashed it out like men behind closed doors. So as much as like I don't like the posse he hangs with, Bennett and I are fine as far as I'm concerned, and I have no will against Bennett.
Oh, that's good to hear.
That's
good
good to hear
I wanna
because
hear that
we
shit.
love Bennett.
Because
But
we're
that-
buddies with Bennett. Yeah, we like Bennett too. Like, yeah.
But
I do like Bennett.
You know what that means? As much as I like Bennett, I'm gonna back Husky Bardo here. We're going on a
He
fucking
pulled
run
the titty
together.
out.
All
His
right.
titty came out, you know.
I love your breasts. We're gonna go for a win here. All right.
Mr. Hand, do we got some Jack over there teed up? Are we ready to go? Let them know. Let these people know. You're gonna pour this Jack?
All right.
Tell
Is
'em.
this shot
Yes, I am.
sponsored by who?
This shot will be sponsored by our friends at Buffalo Wings and Rings, as well as our friends at Jack Daniels.
Do you know that Justin over at Buffalo Wings and Rings asked me if you had a deal with Jack
How's that?
Daniels yet, and I said you did not, but you were definitely open to it. So
Yeah.
let's get
How's that
this
look?
man a motherfucking deal.
That's quite a shot there.
Okay. But wait, I got to take
So-
the hat off for this one.
My lord.
Wow.
Good man.
Woo, baby.
Good man.
Like you haven't done that since like 82 Motley Crue at like the World Music Theater, right? Like that was the last time you did a shot like that.
How
Like
dare
you were
you.
going
No,
to see
actually-
Nikki Sticks and
no,
the
no, no.
boys. Yep.
No, I did a shot like that last week for Father Zoe's birthday. If you watch that Father Zoe birthday video,
I didn't watch it. No.
yes, there is one on there. But no, I used to beer bong Jack Daniels.
Oh my god.
What?
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Like
Mr.
how much
Hand.
are you talking?
About a little bit more than the size I did.
Like a pint?
No, not that much, but pour it in a beer bong and chug it away. No problem.
I mean,
Yep.
Wait. I made Dave speechless.
oh,
All right.
Yeah. you did.
Don't do that, Darren. You're underage. Don't do that
Yes,
shit.
Darren.
Darren, do that.
Remember, I am a man of questionable character. Whatever I do the opposite.
So I will say about this bracket that like some of the nicest people I've ever met from Twitter are in this bracket. So I want to see them win. Like Sam is in here.
Yeah, Sam's awesome.
Sockside Pride is in here.
Yes.
John Shank is in here.
Teresi,
So-
let me stop you for a second on Sockside Pride. I was thinking
What a
about like
dickhead.
what's the most what if I was gonna list one Twitter user as like this is the example of how you become in the 108 tourney, it's Sockside Pride. He's got
Yeah.
a knowledge of beer, he's got a knowledge of food, he's got a knowledge of the White Sox. He's hilarious and he's just a nice guy. He hits all of the shit that you need to hit to get into the tournament.
And willing to share everything in Lot B.
Well, that's the thing. So like I
Yeah.
was telling Beef the other day, like I feel like the lack of a season hurt a bunch of people because there's a bunch of people that we would see throughout the season and they weren't necessarily super engaged on Twitter, but because we would see them at tailgates and shit like that, we would have them high in these or even in the tournament. And Sockside Pride's a guy who like we definitely will see at a tailgate and we'll go, you know, he tailgates his ass off, you know, and he's might have some of the stuff that my Sock Summer likes to tailgate with. I prefer beer.
Allegedly.
But at the same time, like we didn't see him all year, and you know he's still a high seed in the tourney because he's that good on Twitter, and we like interacting with him that much. So I think that says something a little extra about him, right? Because we didn't have that in-person experience that we usually have, but he's still way up there in the bracket. Or the region. Fuck you, my
Yeah.
Sox number.
Dickhead,
Dare
read
you.
the fucking graphic, you asshole. It might be
If
the
I
only
could
thing you can
read,
read on that
I would
graphic.
have made it a lot farther in life. At this
Right.
point.
I used to say that all the time. Yeah.
I want to jump on Darren's point for a second. I think Alley White Sox is a powerhouse and will mow through this region and probably get down to the Final Four, or possibly even to the championship. So I apologize to Ted Mulvey. Ted is the person for Sox Machine who does the Saturday Sporkles. He pulls the Saturday Sporkles together, and I think a lot of people enjoy those. He's kind of like a behind-the-scenes guy, quiet guy or whatever. I mean, he might not even have 100 followers, but if you do something cool, we want to try to recognize that and get you in the tournament. So I just want to recognize him. He's going to get curb stomped probably 92%, 8% in his matchup, but I love what he does. So I just want to bring that up.
Absolutely. And now I think it's time to go from the Saturday Sporkle into the Sunday Soak region, if you guys will allow me. And it sounds like you will allow me.
Yes.
So, so this is some of this is Sunday the 21st, and then some of it is Saturday the 20th. And so the first matchup, the 1 versus 16, is going to be Matt Father Zawoski against the other Steve-O, the Sox math winner Steve-O. Doesn't rap as far as I know, but hey, if you do, feel free to lay down some rhymes. And then the next matchup, now these two are close friends, so I'm interested to see how this goes down. This is Gray Eyes Don't Lie and Chris Mars. I think I'm saying your last name right. If I'm not, it's the Chris with a whole bunch of fucking hats. All right, that guy.
That's
And
correct.
who likes
That's
to show off his chest?
Well, you know what
Yeah,
though? I'm gonna
he
say
does.
Husky Bardo better tits than Chris. All right, I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh,
I'm not trying to cast aspersions on anybody. I just, I know what I like. All right.
a man of your age should.
The next matchup. Now, this is an interesting one, and this is one of the things I love about White Sox Twitter is I have never met Jimmy Vinicki, but I feel like I'm one of his friends. I feel close to Jimmy. I've never met the fucker in person. It might just be his Vince Neil good looks, but there's something about him that I'm drawn to. And then he's going against Senior Sox, who I also love. So that's a great matchup. Then we go to Canada for Jeff the Giant versus Frank the K. And yeah, sorry, Frank, you got to travel to Canada for this one. Good luck
That's
out
right.
there.
He's got the money.
The next matchup, it's possible that this guy doesn't even have an account by the time this starts, and that's Billy Wires. And he'll be going against Scott Garcia. Scott's best chance is Billy Wires getting eliminated from Twitter before he gets eliminated from the tournament. Then we've got I love this account, Wet Bandit, and then he's going against Richie Sock Stove. Then we got Jennifer S. I'm not even going to try the last name because that's why I didn't read the other one. And then against Matt Crawford. And then the last one is Lauren Wills against Sean Jankowski. I'm going to tell you guys that I think Lauren wins this and maybe goes really far in this tournament. And the reason I'm going to say that is because there's a lot of people in this tournament that will self-promote. Like, I feel like, she's good at self-promotion, just like a bunch of other people in this tournament. But I feel like she's one of those few that's like Beef Loaf that will go out there and get absolutely murdered just to get out there. And
few do what I do.
Yeah, I mean, like, Beef, I love you. And the Jeff Passan thing, I can tell, like, I know when you're looking at that, you look at that different than everybody else, right? Like, this guy is just with a sledgehammer slaughtering you into the ground, and you're just sitting there like nodding your head, like, yes, this is what I wanted.
It was so funny. I had put that tweet out there, whatever it was, at 10 o'clock at night, and then I went to bed. And I wake up in the morning and Mrs. Beef is laying next to me and she's like, just so you know, you're getting murdered on Twitter right now by Jeff Madison.
But
she was already up scrolling. Like,
you were
looking
probably
at that
so
shit.
happy. You were
I loved
probably
it.
so
I was
happy
like,
when
wait, I can't wait to see what he did to me. You know, like I love this shit.
So I will kick it to my sock summer because I know he's going to have opinions on this bracket.
First off, I want to congratulate L. Wills like for getting a number 2 seed and like from going from last year when I said you're not going to do shit to like becoming a 2 seed the following year. That just means like my endorsement means absolutely nothing.
Wait, you
so
told me that?
Great endorsement, Jake.
Yeah.
Great endorsement, MSS.
What I think happened is that I told her, I said, I think she's going to like not impress. And then she, you know what she did? She stepped her fucking game up and she got good. That was all part of the My Sock Summer plan. Now, if we don't see,
Yeah, right.
if we don't see the final level, if the final level is not L. Wills versus Jimmy Vinicky, I am done with the 108 tournament. Okay, because that's just going to be your final one. All right, that's your final matchup. I know that is going to happen. Father Zoe, I love you. You know,
Obviously
but other than these guys, like Jimmy Vinicky is a self-promotion fucking machine. That man put up a video today. He was doing rhymes. He was doing all sorts of shit. Plus, he has a little kid as a hype man that just repeats the shit that he says while he's saying it. It is unbelievable. I'm telling you, this man started off last year. He was a virgin in the 108 tournament. His cherry has been popped. He is now going to up it to the next level. Jimmy Vinicky versus L. Wills to win the Sunday Soak region. Fucking book it. I want to bet it on PointsBet or Barstool Bet, whatever the fuck I got to do. Let's bet this shit.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a simple question?
No, you can't. All right, Darren Brown, you're next.
Whoa. This is for MSS.
Yes.
You have 2 hype people. Why aren't you using them if you're idolizing Jimmy for what he does?
Well, first off, I do use them a lot. They definitely will come into play in this tournament because I'm gonna have to spit roast my man Cherizi just to show him who's boss.
Oh shit!
So he remembers.
Damn.
So he remembers. Wow. But no, like we're like you know what? The thing is, the oldest doesn't really give a fuck anymore. Like she's like, this is her 3rd tournament, and she's like, I don't even care. Like
nothing makes me happier.
I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go do a podcast, and my daughter's like, yeah, whatever.
That's bullshit.
She's like, you'll be hungover tomorrow. I'll be able to work extra treats out of you without doing doing total minimal effort at school. And I'm like,
I know for a fact that your oldest daughter set up a Twitter account just to vote for me against your fucking.
She might have. She had my phone for about 25 minutes today. So yes, you're probably right. Actually, that's not true. She doesn't have my phone. She doesn't do that shit. But yeah, no, my kids will definitely be like thrown in there. I am not afraid of putting them out there. They're still as cool. Like I'm still cool to them to a certain level. Like they haven't lost all coolness factors.
You're not anymore. Sorry. No offense, but you're
We'll see. So yeah. So like D Brown, what's your thoughts on the Sunday Soak region?
I agree with the 2 favorites mentioned. I think it'll be Jimmy Vinicky and Lauren Wills. But one thing I want to mention is I do love seeing some Illini representation. You know, it started off with Unprotected, the big one, but you also had a matchup in the last one with Sam Mendelson and Brandon Stokes. And here you have current Illini student Steve O'Brien at the 16, I believe Illini fan Richie Sockstove at 11. So it's good to see some UIUC representation here in the 108 tournament.
I'm glad you know that because I didn't know any of that shit.
Loaf.
Yes, sir.
Loaf, is Richie Sockstove actually Richie Illini time?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta cross him. I gotta cross him out of my Snubs draft.
People change their names as they go, and it's tough to keep up. Sorry, Dave.
Well,
I
you
cut
should
you off.
probably.
White Sox, Dave, go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
Dave.
you guys are good. I was gonna I think that Lauren's got an awesome shot at taking this entire bracket down for the sole reason she does merch and people love free shit. She can just bribe for votes and pander that way.
Yep.
Shirt coming out, like you vote for me, I'll pick 10 winners or whatever, you know. I'm not trying to put any ideas in her brain.
Dave, what I think's funny is that she got that endorsement by giving you a sweatshirt. Okay, so good job, buddy.
And I'm a sucker for free shit. Sweatshirt, and I hate that I didn't think of making it first.
That's right. Now, I as someone who put the bracket together, I don't really have opinions about the bracket, but Treasy and My Sock Summer can tell you. We had Sammy Panianovich put the odds together for all these brackets. Okay, those are already done. We're gonna put those out on Saturday. Okay, they're gonna be out in a blog post on Saturday. And he texted Treasy and I, and he said, "Beef, you fucked up this bracket. You have the wrong person as the number 1 seed." And he said Billy Wires, and then he had Jimmy and Lauren Wills ahead of Matt Zawoski. So I'm not saying, I'm just saying you'll see that come out in the blog post future, but he was like, "You fucked up the seeding here." And you guys are telling me pretty much the exact same thing, that I fucked the seeding up.
Well, Matt Zawalski is like your BFF, so we understand why Father Zoe is the number 1, because you can't come to him with a 2 or a 3 because you'd feel embarrassed.
Bro,
so,
he went final 8 last year. He was in the final 8.
But I'm just saying, you guys are BFFs.
But how
Sam is way higher on Billy though than I think any of us.
How can you be high on Billy? Because here today, gone tomorrow. How many times has that happened this year?
Exactly.
Apparently, there's not a body of work because the guy is obsessed with penis pictures and bashing other people who disagree with his opinion. How can you? And then
penis pictures sell.
I was gonna say I love penis pictures. I don't know about any of you, but I enjoy them.
Maybe Sammy likes a foot long with a little jardiniere on it. I don't know. Maybe that's his thing. I'm not saying.
That picture is ridiculous. But
I can't wait till he kills me when I talk to him.
Yeah, that's on Saturday, by the way.
He's gonna murder
Enjoy.
me. Yeah, in 2 days. Yep. I love you, Sam.
All right. Any other comments on the Sunday Soak region, or should we get to the 3 things region? I will say we get to the 3 things region.
Let's go to the treat things region. Let's do it.
Hey, before you guys start, I am being summoned downstairs. I gotta head out. Fantastic job as always. Love all of you guys unconditionally. Unless you piss me off, then I'll hate you, and then I'll
Dave, tell Chief to stay away from the carbs and that we love him too. Oh. And if you want to sign back in with Chief, you can tell me to fuck off. Then you can please do that. No, I would love to say hi to Chief.
He's a little fucking baby. Is
he home? Is he at home, or is he still there?
What's that?
Is he still there? Or is he at home?
Yeah, they're all downstairs still.
All right, go downstairs and get back on with Chief. We want to tell him we love him.
He's not going to come back on, and the big man's downstairs, and he fucking terrifies me, so I don't want to,
Dave, go do your thing, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming, brother. Man. Tell Eddie we said what's up.
I will talk to you, brother. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
That's good, Holmes.
Yeah, better going, Dave.
Tell Carl Rice Boys play with nice toys.
Hello.
All right.
The 3 things region is the last region of the night. And
it's a good one.
Actually has the play-in effect. So we're going to get to the draft in a little while. But right now, we'll talk about this region. So this region is going to have matchups on Saturday, March 20th, as well as Friday, March 19th. So I'm going to start with the Friday matchups first. So Friday, March 19th, we have Covey's Burner as the number 3 seed going against the number 14 seed, Sox Bear Peyton. Also on Friday, we're going to have the number 6 seed, Casey Boguslaw, going against the number 11 seed, Aaron Fitzmagic. Moving on further on Friday, we got the number 7 seed, White Sox Girl, going against the number 10 seed, Billy Reffeld, who was the number 109 seed last year. He just missed the tournament. And it was hilarious. Teresa and I were at the Joe's on Weed party before the release of the bracket, but after we knew the bracket was finalized, and we saw and talked to Billy and partied with him, and I had a couple of Miller Lights with him, and I felt really bad about not putting him in the tournament, but this year he's done quite enough to get in the tournament. And finally on Friday, March 19th, we're going to have the number 2 seed, Janice, whose stock is rising like a motherfucker during this tournament, versus the number 15 seed, Daniel Pierce. That's the bottom side of the three things bracket, let's move up to the top. Saturday, March 20th, we have the number 1 seed in this region and also the number 1 seed in the entire tournament, Summer of George, going against the 108th spot as the 16th seed, which will be the person that wins the Twitter poll from our Snubs draft that we're going to have in just a little while after we finish up this bracket and commentary here. The number 8 seed, also on Saturday, March 20th, is going to be Sockside Boys against the number 9 seed, Keelan Bilou. Also on Saturday, March 20th, we're going to have the number 5 seed, Dick the Knife, against Chicago Brush Lion, the number 12 seed. And the final matchup in the entire bracket, it's also going to go off on Saturday, March 20th, is going to be the number 4 seed, NWI Steve, against the number 13 seed, hashtag White Sox. And hashtag White Sox has a big following, and I followed hashtag White Sox for a long time. And hashtag White Sox puts in their Twitter bio hashtag Hanbot. And even though I'm the farthest thing from a Hanbot that there could possibly be, I respect the ability to say, you know what? People make fun of people who support Rick Hahn. I'm going to put that shit right in my bio. So I needed to get the hashtag White Sox in this tournament bracket. Gentlemen, aloha, Mr. Hand. Give me some thoughts on this bracket.
Okay, I understand why Summer of George is the number 1 seed. I totally get it after his performance last year. But heavy is the crown on he who wears it. So he's going to have a tough time because, I mean, this is a guy who talked about how with hot everything else, and he lost a hot dog eating contest to a Cub fan. I mean, come on. You want to be in a Sox?
Wow.
You want to be in a Sox tournament and you lose to a Cub fan? Okay. Second, there is a person in this bracket.
Uh-oh.
Did
You
we
got
lose
Herbie
him?
Hancocked.
Is he still there?
Barely.
Don't.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. He's back. Okay.
No, he's not.
No, he
He's
isn't.
not.
Okay, I'm back.
He tricked us. He false flagged a little bit.
We'll
there.
let him get
So
reset.
we'll get him warmed up.
It-
Trees, you got some shit
Yeah.
for me for this bracket?
Oh, there he is. Oh, he's moving.
He's back. He's back.
He's moving.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm here.
All right.
Can you see me move now?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can.
All right, cool. So,
It's like,
Sick
Like I said-
moves, bro.
hey, what can I say? So, like I said, there's also a person in this bracket or region. Sorry, MSS,
Yeah, dumb fuck. It says region right in the top.
who is a closet Cub fan. I'm not going to say who, but if people look, they'll find out who it is. And also, me personally, I got to go with my guy NWI Steve. Got to go with my guy NWI Steve. You know, I think Janice will do quite well, but at the end, I got to go with Steve.
To win the first match, or what?
Yeah,
Because Dick the Knife will crush him in the next round. I mean, like, I love Steve.
Mhm.
Like, that's one of the people that I cannot wait to hang out with until we get back in the park.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I mean,
Him and Mookie. Yeah.
Yep.
Dick the Knife's gonna hammer him in the second round.
Yeah,
He's gonna
I
knife him.
couldn't agree more.
I don't know. Maybe Steve could mobilize some of the on-tap army.
We'll see what they can do, but they got to
Yeah.
be behind Summer of George. Like that's the thing. He's in the same crew, right? Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm. That's not even the stuff that I'm interested in here.
What are you interested in, Teresa?
Yeah.
I think Keelan can make a run.
I think she can too.
Wow.
She's funny as hell. I love that account. So I think she can take that whole half. I think the Summer of George matchup is super tough. I think she could take it.
No way, man. No
Oh.
way. Summer George was
Ooh.
doing things that no one had ever done in this tournament before. He was setting like a new bar for this tournament. He more than doubled his followers last year during this shit.
Beef,
He's going to come ready to play. There's no way he's getting knocked out in some second round matchup.
beef.
Plus
That
he
means
dropped
that just means on Saturday when he's on our show for the Saturday morning
Yep. You tell
first
him.
call,
You tell him.
March 13th, 9 a.m. show. We're gonna
What's the
have
address?
first call for St. Pat's Day. We would
Yep.
have the parade that day, but we don't.
Right.
Summer George is gonna be on. He's gonna be on at like 9:45 in the morning.
We're gonna
Drinking
parade her
with us.
balls.
Yes.
if he shows up that day and brings it, then maybe I'll change my mind. Until then, I don't know.
Interesting. I think that you have something good there. I think Summer of George is a hard beat, but I also think Keelan has a really good shot to do this. She is definitely taking the White Sox Twitter world by storm recently. I know somebody who's going to have a really tough 3-14 matchup, and that's Kobe. He is going to get a struggle against Sox Bear Peyton. I feel like anytime you're a guy going against a girl in Sox Twitter land, that's hard. That's hard news, man. You got a lot of horny dudes out there, and they're voting for chicks. That's just how it is.
And you're one of them.
I mean, my man, I mean, you're not wrong. So yeah. So let's go with that. Poor Daniel Pierce, who has put up a lot of good stuff, on White Sox Twitter this year.
Yes.
And you put him up as once again a sacrificial lamb against a number 2 seed, Janice. I mean, just gonna body him.
You guys talk about this like, okay, but someone's got to go in those seats.
That's true.
That's true. And it should have been my Sox summer.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Get bodied the first round.
But I gotta say, I was going to get a drink when you were reading this off. So I don't know that you mentioned this, but the Billy thing, he wasn't in the last tourney.
He did mention it.
I did. Yeah,
you did talk about that.
I mentioned that. Yeah.
Just to think back to that night again, I just wanted to kind of rehash
it's a good
Rub
reminder.
some
I like that.
salt in there. Yeah,
I like
I
what
get
you're
it.
drinking out of. Also,
it.
what are you drinking right there?
Oh,
what do you got going on there?
It's just a delicious, like side drink that we're gonna have.
Love it. Darren, what do you got on this bracket? Come at me, D Brown.
I do think, like MSS said, I think that 3-14 will be a pretty tough matchup there, and honestly might be a coin flip. So I think that would be an interesting one to look at. I would really be interested in seeing the 1-9 matchup up top, because I do think Keelan could make a pretty good run, and I do think that one, in my opinion, will end up being a 9 versus 5.
Wow. A lot of people thinking that way, unbelievable.
I want to see it now.
This is the one bracket where I was really like, I hope for upsets and stuff, even though I try to line these brackets up nicely, but I really would hope for a 1 versus 2 to get to the end of this.
I mean,
I'd love to see a Summer of George versus Janice matchup.
That'd be a great matchup. Yeah. I'm not denying it. I just there's some upset specials in this one. I just feel it.
It's a tough bracket overall.
Yeah,
it's a tough one.
This might be the toughest bracket. This might be
a tough one.
Like I would never feel bad for Kobe's burner, but I kind of feel bad for him right now.
No, don't feel bad for him. How dare you?
I do think it's interesting.
We're base buds.
As far as Summer of George last year, not necessarily a huge sleeper, but it was a little bit of an underdog run last year with this thing. And now,
hell yeah, he was.
This bracket, he's the top guy. Like you said, he's the top overall seed.
Yep.
So we'll have to see how different it is from last year, where you got people pulling for you being an underdog, and now you're the guy.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
It's a totally different feel.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Absolutely
He's got Saturday to prove it, though. I think Saturday is going to be a big day for some guys. I mean, we've got 2 guys going against each other on Saturday that are going to be there. So Sam and Shane, they're a little ways apart. We'll see if Sam holds on for the whole show to talk some shit to Shane at the end.
I would love it. I hope he does.
All right, so that's it. That's all the brackets, correct?
That is correct.
I'm not fucked up. I didn't mess that up. I'm impressed with myself.
Nice work.
Good.
I'm not
Lord.
impressed.
I don't care if you are. So before we get to the Snubs draft, I'm going to need Beef Loaf to pay some bills.
Oh, baby. Our great sponsor of the 108 Tourney is the Buffalo Wings and Rings Chicago, located at 3434 South Halsted. I know this joint's known for their wings in all varieties and sauces. They have an enormous beer selection. And let's be honest, boys, occasionally we roll up there, pre-pandemic, of course, and there are some unbelievable deals on tap. But some of my personal favorites at this joint are the buffalo chicken nachos. I always get them with the blue cheese dipping sauce, which is absolutely incredible. The Korean shrimp, which I know Aloha Mr. Hand is also a favorite of. And last but not least, they have top-notch burgers. My favorite burger is the black and blue burger. The black and blue burger is seared in Cajun spices, topped with melted blue cheese crumbles and applewood smoked bacon. Our famous blue cheese dip served on a brioche bun with lettuce, tomato, and pickles. If you're being extra cautious during the pandemic and you prefer to eat outside, Buffalo Wings and Rings has a great patio that runs along Halsted Street and whips around 34th Street, where Teresi and I recorded an episode of Chicken Dinner with Sam Panianovich. That's a gambling podcast that we were both on for an hour. Great time. So order now from our great spots. You could find them at www.buffalowingsandrings.com, or you can call them at 773-579-9464. Order some this weekend. 3434 South Halsted. I'm done.
Beautiful. So
I
now,
noticed you read the phone number actually this time.
well, didn't just make you Google it.
Who calls who? What a
So,
dick.
so here's the thing, fellas. We got the
Yes.
snub draft,
Yes.
right? We're missing Dave. Dave did not
Dave's out.
stick around long enough. However,
Dave's not here.
I do want there to be 24 people in this. So here's how it's going to go.
We're gonna go 5 rounders.
No, we're just going to have
I don't understand
Darren-
math. So.
We're just going to have Darren and Mr. Hand take Dave's picks. You will be picking for Dave in addition to yourselves. But the way that I
like
want
it.
this order to go, and Darren, you're going to have to keep track of this because I'm very drunk. The way the order goes, I'm gonna move shit around on my screen so it makes sense to me. But the way that I want this to happen is because the 108 dudes, me, Beef, and what's the other guy? My Suck Summer.
Fuck your ass, bro. Hey, D Brown, let's get rid of the Buffalo Wings and Rings. Let's go full screen so everybody can see our beautiful faces and
Yeah, I
Mr.
like that.
Hand's hat.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
There we
It's-
go,
do that.
baby.
And now
This
I
is
can
this is
now I
pretty.
can type in the word to keep track of this stuff.
Beautiful.
That's right.
It's so the way that I want it to go is we'll go Darren, and then Aloha, then Beef, Chirizi, My Sock Summer, and then for the turnaround, we'll let Darren and Aloha take another pick. So this is going to be hard to keep track of. I know that, but we got a sober guy on the podcast, so I think he can handle it.
Oh, he's hammered too.
Yeah,
Tap
Darren's
water
just been
my
drinking
ass.
straight vodka the whole time. But yeah, so I want to do it that way. And what I'm looking to do is get, 6 rounds of 4 picks. 4 rounds of 6 picks, whatever it is.
it's
4 rounds of 6 picks.
4 rounds, yeah.
But you guys take those, and because we had a lot of say in this, and Beef, you had a good amount of say in everything. I want to give you guys a little bit more of an opportunity to say, I want these people in the tournament, because these people will be competing against each other to get into the tournament.
Yeah, that's right. There's gonna be Twitter polls on Monday, what is that, March 15th through Wednesday, March 17th, to get this last spot to play Summer of George. So even though it's a very tough matchup, it's still prestigious to actually get in the tournament. So
I will also say that me and My Sock Summer put together a nice blog, give you an opportunity to say, I'm going to fill out this form that I gave you to try and tell us why you should be in the tournament. And a bunch of you fuckers just replied to the tweet instead. What the fuck is wrong with all you people?
yes,
Do you not follow instructions? I don't want any of you in the tournament now. So that's bullshit. There's a bunch of you that I love the responses, and you will be considered in this. So we'll see what happens. But let's get this going. And Darren, you are the #1 overall pick. So fire away. And like I said, keep track of all of this. This is on you.
You got it, D Brown. You want me to write it down?
No, I got word up. I'll type it in as I go.
beautiful.
Right. My #1 overall pick. This is a guy who I think is similar to Dick the Knife, where you have your thing and it's organically created. You have your thing that people recognize you for. And this is somebody that I just talked to about a minute ago who was disappointed because he didn't think he made it, but I told him his night's not going to be over because we have the Snubs Draft, and that is Mr. Yeah Dog, this 110.
Yeah.
Nice.
A 1 of 1. Look at you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will tell you, man, that's one dude. It's like when Jason Hosking talks, that's what that dude's tweets are like to me. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I read them and I'm just like, I don't know what fucking language this. I like click translate on Twitter and it doesn't help me at all.
Tracy,
He's
I feel
definitely-
bodied by the guy. Whenever anytime the guy responds to me or does it, he kind of bullies me a little bit. So I'm a little scared of this guy. I mean, I'm happy that he's in the poll, but I can't vote for him because I'm terrified.
You're a
That's
gigantic pussy, though, too. So we understand that.
That's
We all
correct.
get
That is absolutely correct.
You're a gigantic asthmatic pussy.
Fuck you, my son.
Mr. Hand, who you got? Number 2.
These are the things that makes us laugh. Yes.
So I'm torn between a couple of people, but I got to go with Sleepy Harold.
Good number 1. That's a good one. Good one.
pick.
You know,
That was my one
I
of
mean,
1.
He's doing the stuff with Future Sox now, and let's face it, he's part of a tag team that throws a hell of a tailgate in Lot C.
That's true,
Dude,
and
there's no
that's
question.
That's a guy who missing the season, I think, hurt. I think it definitely hurt him.
I can see that. Yes.
No, you're 100% a Mr. Hand. That Sleepy Harold was definitely my 1 of 1. I wanted him in this tournament, and not just because I like him as a person. I also think that he actually has a realistic shot of like giving Summer of George a little bit of a challenge, and that's something that I hope we could potentially see.
No, he doesn't. But I mean, he's a great pick. I agree.
It's a fantastic pick.
It's a
leave it at
really
that.
good
Fuck you, Loaf. You son
He's
of a-
very
Tracy,
very
he's very
talented.
talented.
He's very talented. Let's leave
Just
it
leave
at
it at that.
Beef, who you taking number 3?
Oh, baby, this is so tough because obviously I put the bracket together and I have a list of like 50 people out here that that I think kind of deserve to be in this thing. I'm gonna go with the guy who he's in New Zealand. He put us number 1 in
Another
New
good
Zealand
pick.
podcast.
Yep.
He's an awesome guy. He really deserves some recognition here. I should have got him in the regular tournament. There's really no excuse. I mean, I'm going to throw Shane Harmon up here as my first.
He
pick.
was
It's a good call.
He was my number 1 on the Snubs Draft list.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you guys why. Because I was doing some giveaway. We did a bunch of giveaways during the pandemic. And Shane actually won it. And it was for $108. And he was like, I just wanted to jump in on this and participate. And he actually donated that $108 to the Chicago Food Bank. Like, dude is in New Zealand and is like, here's some money towards the Chicago Food Bank. He's a fucking awesome dude. Just like incredibly good dude. And a Sox fan in New Zealand, keeping us on the charts in New Zealand. So
Yes.
I love that dude. So
We're huge in New Zealand.
So Beef took my number 1 overall, but I'll tell you at my number 2. So I was gonna actually put my buddy Chef Eric. I was gonna say let's get him in, but he in response to our tweets nominated someone, and he said you should put Perez Ramirez in. I'm not very familiar with this account, right? But the response from Perez Ramirez was, they're not ready for the chaos I'd bring. Bunch of these 108 tourney heels would cower in fear. Well, let's fucking see it, because you're in now. So Perez Ramirez, bring that shit. You got the fire? Let's see it. I want to fucking see it. Bring it. I'm waiting for it. You better be fucking amazing. I'm putting all my stock in you. You're my first snub pick. You're in. You're in. You're in one of the polls. I want to see what you got.
I love that. I love the challenge. I love throwing it down there. That's beautiful.
My Sock Summer, what do you got?
So I'm going to pick a guy, and I think that everyone is going to be, he shouldn't be in there. but yet we have another person that has the exact same resume in our tournament. It's somebody that supports the 108, is a big 108 supporter, and a guy that I think helps raise our brand to the next, well, kind of the next level, especially if it's on a softball field. I'm taking Slim Mick as my number one of one to get into the tournament. I feel that this is the absolute
Terrible.
worst snub. We have goddamn Polish with extra onions going against a known Cubs fan, for Christ's sake, and Amy Nomninson. Why can't we have Slim Mick? So I'm making this right. We're putting Slim Mick in this fucking tourney.
You know, I thought Mr. Hand would be the first to bring a Cubs fan into this shit. And it's you.
He'll be the
Dis-
second.
Son, I am disappointed.
Terrible. There was so much slander and all that. There was so many shots at everybody for everything. You know what? Fuck you, my Sox Summer. And Slim Mick is one of mine and Treasy's best friends. And I
That's
got to
right.
MF you over one of
He's-
our best friends. I can't
Right.
believe this.
I can't believe you'd even NF me.
I will tell you a fantastic Buffalo Wings and Rings moment with Slim Mick.
Tell it, because
He-
I want to know it.
So we were there eating, and this is probably I don't know, when it was first open, right?
18
And-
years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago, and he spilled a whole thing of ranch dressing on his cargo shorts, so it looked like he was just really enjoying everything that was
Ready to
going
go.
on.
No, he was
it-
done. Not ready to go. He was finished.
he was ready to go 30
Get a
seconds
cigarette?
before that.
Was he ready to go get a cigarette at this point?
Yes, he was ready
Yeah.
to go get a cigarette.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's the ranch pants origin
Ranch
story.
pants.
But all right, so we got White Sox Dave's picks now. I will go to
Who's the
let's
first
go
one?
to Darren first. Darren, you take one of White Sox Dave's picks here.
I'll take another guy who I'm not sure as far as content how far versed he has been recently as far as keeping it up. Might have been once somebody that has been in the draft in the early rankings and all that, but might have slipped down. I'm gonna take Iowa Zach.
Oh,
Ooh,
yes,
nice.
that's a good pick.
Okay.
That is a
Good pick.
good pick.
Throwing that motherfucker a little bit of love, even
Yeah,
though
give-
he likes the Iowa folk. I like it.
Genuine good
What's wrong with
dude.
Iowa?
Someone I've been on podcasts with before. So Big Ten pride, beef. Big Ten pride.
I like it. I like that shit. Keep
I'll
that
tell you
shit
what's
up.
wrong with Iowa, you mother. Oh no, I'm not gonna tell you what's wrong.
Dude, you didn't go to Illinois. Who cares?
I didn't. You didn't go to Iowa. Who cares?
I know. That's what
No.
I'm saying. Why are you getting so upset? I'm not getting upset. I'm getting upset you hating on other people. That's all.
My Sox Summer is an honorary Illini because he helped me in my journalism class
That's true.
my spring semester freshman year.
That's 100% true, love.
What
So,
grade did you get? I
go
just
fuck
want to know
yourself.
what grade did my
Did you
son
get a
on the
good grade?
A on the paper, A in the class.
Yeah, in your
Wow.
fucking
I don't
dickhead.
believe it.
That's the first A my Sox Summer's ever gotten. I
By the
believe
way-
that.
I rest my case for all the positive things I've ever said about MSS. I'm just trying to.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
He
he's
got
man.
Herbie
This
Hancock
is-
again.
he's been
went Max
yeah.
Hunter.
Oh, not
and it's-
again.
It's
He's been
his
eating.
pick. It's his pick. Okay.
Oh, he's
so-
back. He's back. I see him. There he is.
Yeah.
He's season out right
Yeah.
now. I see him.
So I'm going with someone who I think brings class and just general niceness to White Sox Twitter. I got to go with Nathan Sheba.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good call.
Great
Yeah.
pick.
Perfect.
You know,
Great,
I mean,
great pick.
I love
Who-
Nathan. Yeah.
love
Good
Nathan.
dude.
who dislikes Nathan? Nobody.
No one. Nobody.
It's
No.
impossible. It's
Right.
actually impossible.
Right.
All right, beautiful. So this turns back around because that would have been Dave's pick, Dave's
Yep.
second pick. So that's going to go back to my Sox Summer.
All right. So I'm going to pick somebody that might be a little controversial. And it's somebody that I think that could potentially beat Summer of George. I'm going to take a guy who was in our chat earlier, who is no longer in our chat. I'm going to take Buzz on tap.
Nice.
I think Buzz could do some damage. And I'm going to totally avoid that I'm going to totally forget that he said last year that he doesn't understand the 108 tourney. And I'm going to throw him into the 108 tourney. And I'm going to see what he does when he's in this magic. So Buzz, you had a great viral tweet last week. Let's do it again. Let's get in here and let's mess some shit up.
All right. I like the Buzz pick. I've always enjoyed Buzz's stuff. He's mainly Bulls now, so that's why I don't see a lot of his stuff because I think it just kind of washes past because like I'm not a big Bulls fan. I was a Bulls fan like when I was younger and they were amazing. And that may make me a fair weather fan, but being awful for a long time, I could only take so many of those.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, Chirizi. I stopped watching them. Like I stopped watching the regular season during the 71 or 72 and 0 or 10 year. Like it was like I don't even watch the regular season. We're gonna get to the playoffs. Let's just wait till the playoffs. So we'll see what happens.
So as you probably know, me and Josh Nelson did this Star Wars podcast, and it might spin back up in May when some new Star Wars shows come out. You never know. But one dude who was like always hitting us up with some really good stuff and like, is had some really good responses and was a loyal listener is the guy I'm going to pick next. And that's Southside Mando.
Nice.
So I'm going to combine my Star Wars world with my White Sox world, and Southside Mando, you're in, buddy. All right, Beef, I think you're up. It doesn't seem like anyone has anything to say about that one.
I said nice. What the fuck else am I supposed to say?
I mean, you went non-White Sox there. You went sort of which I
No,
like. I like.
He's a White Sox fan.
I know he is. But I see his tweets. I'm aware of a Southside Mando. He's on the list. He's further down the list, not quite up on the list.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so my next pick.
Come on, Loaf.
I kind of I felt a little bad because there were all these leaks going out there, about different things about the 108 tourney. I don't know who was delivering this shit, but Kobe's burner was throwing out all these leaks, and a lot of them were accurate. Like I couldn't believe how accurate they were. And one of the ones he said was, there are no 7-footers in the 108 tourney. And so I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that. I'm going to put the Iowa 7-footer.
Such a good pick
into the Snubs draft because that's my man. I mean, we had a great time with him and his girlfriend, fiance now, at a game, and he's always tweeting about basketball. And like he's very active on Twitter. It's like I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to ingratiate this guy in the 108 family here and get him in this tournament here.
I love it. That's my favorite.
Listen.
That's my favorite snub so far. And I hope he takes this.
I do too. I would love it.
His fiance, girlfriend at the time, sent us a message when she ordered him a sweatshirt and said, "Will you guys please sign the sweatshirt and send it to him? He loves you. We have a photo of you guys and him at the park hanging in our front room." And I said, "Listen, send me the thing of send me the file of the photo. I'm going to print it out. I'll autograph it and send it with his shirt." So kudos to her, because you know what happened? It took about a month and a half to send this fucking photo and everything. And she did not complain one iota. She did not send me a message and say, "Hey, listen, this is a fucking Christmas gift, motherfucker. So get off your fat ass and make it happen." She did not send me one goddamn message. So when they got engaged, I said, "You need to keep this woman," because she did not nag me whatsoever and say, "Listen, I need you to help this happen." She just trusted that the 108 would take care of her, and we fucking did. But the best part about the story is I hope that goddamn autograph picture is hanging up in your front room now, because Beef Loaf, practiced his autograph for about 15 minutes in my house before he signed the picture. So like it was the perfect autograph from the loaf. So my wife was like, why does it say beef loaf on all our bills? I'm like, I don't know. He's paying them this month.
No, they were awesome when we hung out with them in the game, and it was so funny. It's like, we're gonna take a picture. It's like, well, first you could see him sitting in the seat.
He's
You're like,
huge.
this dude is humongous, right?
We were like,
And
point up to him.
we go to take the picture, and like, obviously I mean, my sex number, you're 6'4".
I'm 6'4",
You
and he's
look like a
I'm
midget
looking
next
up,
to him.
I
Like,
look like a
I'm-
fat
we were
midget.
dwarfed by
I'm
him.
Yeah.
legit
Thank you.
2 steps up from this dude in this picture, and I'm a foot shorter than him. It's fucking unreal.
But dude, his lady had to be 6'5".
Yeah.
She was taller than me, like easily, man. She stood up, and we were on the same step. We were going up to get some beers. Or whatever. Like, bro, like, man, everyone from where you come from is tall, man. Fuck.
They're if
That's how
they
you
have
grow 'em in
kids,
Iowa.
you got to fucking Bull is going to be in the
Yes.
fucking NBA. It's going to be awesome.
They're gonna be some
can't
good ass volleyball players. Yep.
Beef, me and you are going to be sitting in the stands like Ray Gibson and Claude Banks at the end of life.
Yes.
All right. I don't even know who's up. Who's up? Mr. Hand?
Mr. Hand is up.
Oh,
I
I'm
got it
up
right.
again? All right.
Wake him up. Wake him up.
I'm here. I got to go with the other half of the tailgating combo with Sleepy Harold, the man who gives the
Oh.
best hugs
Nice.
in the 108 Twitter sphere. That is, of course, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I love
Beautiful.
Mr. Mayor.
Dumber.
Awesome guy.
Yeah, that's it.
I wish I could rip some fireball shots with him right fucking now.
Oh my God. Yes. Those tailgates are fucking incredible.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
Tons of
there's no
fried
question.
chicken at those tailgates, and it's delicious.
yes, it is.
Well, tons of everything.
Darren,
basically.
you got the turnaround now, I believe.
I did.
Yes, he does.
What I mentioned earlier was that I like seeing a lot of Illinois representation in this bracket. So I'm going to take my man,
brother.
Tommy Barbie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I had him on here.
Now, Tommy was a little upset because he thought there weren't going to be any brothers in the tournament. I'm like, there's brothers and sisters. I mean, what the fuck, man? It's Sox Twitter. You know, we represent everybody.
We represent everybody. It's like a fucking rainbow.
All right, you got another one, Darren. Let's rattle them off.
My next pick, I think I'll go back to Iowa. And this is a guy I was a little surprised didn't make it already, but another part of the Iowa trifecta, former trifecta, and that is Iowa Sox.
Oh, yeah. Iowa Sox, total thirst trap. And he just missed that stash. I mean, like that, he's trying to show that stash. Now that's Iowa chic, and it's not necessarily Bridgeport chic. And that's kind of why we miss each other a little bit there. Like, I'm doing a thirst trap thing. He's like, this is the thirst trap. And he's like patting the mustache. And I'm like, that's not how it is here. Kind of, he doesn't know.
All right.
Good
Hello,
job.
Mr. Hand. I think you're up.
Yes, I am. You said you expected me to do this with the first pick, but I am doing it now. So everybody get ready to take a drink because I'm going to say a
One,
Cub fan.
2, 3.
K-Fid,
K-Fids!
who, if you ever watched, who is one of the partners with Father Zoe on the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. A former coach for one, Chris Bryant. And if you ever watch his breakdowns of batting stances and hitting and everything else, it's phenomenal. But he is a guy who has confessed his love for White Sox Twitter and even though he's a Cub fan, his disdain for Cubs Twitter.
Yeah, I mean he is an active participant, and like I
Yes.
I do enjoy interactions with him. But goddamn, you guys, so many fucking Cubs fans. Give me
Well, what's funny is like you, Aloha, Mr. Hand, you bring up like the breakdown of him,
Yeah.
like with a swing and all that stuff is very interesting. And thoughtful in my opinion. But what's really funny is the video he made when he was in Twitter jail. And it came out in a 4-minute video, and it was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
Yes.
And they put it on their show. They were like, all right, we're debuting this right now. And it was like right in their fucking show. And it was totally insane. Like, I'm pretty sure KenWO and it was one of the sisters. Like, it
He
was a
was the leader.
Shawshank.
So was I.
Yeah. All three of you made cameos in there. Beef, of course, was the poster over the wall in the prison cell.
That's how thirst traps work. Aloha, Mr. Han. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Mad sexy.
Yes.
Beef.
No, I like K-Fids. I also don't appreciate his Scott Stapp things, but I wish I was as skinny as Scott Stapp. So it's like one of those things. He's just kind of rub it in my face. He's like, "You're fat. You're not even as like skinny as Scott Stapp." So, but it's okay.
And his only goal is to have
Fuck you, Loaf. I saw that shit before it changed. I fucking hate you for that. Horrible.
I'm sorry.
That's a horrible pour.
I'm sorry.
His only goal, he just wants love from KenWO. He just wants KenWO to follow him.
No,
He's
not getting.
You don't want that.
That's not
He's
gonna
not
happen.
gonna.
You don't actually
It's
want
not
that.
happening.
You don't actually.
I
Want
mean,
that.
it's okay to want that, but he's not getting it. It's
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
Pull that beer up again, Loaf.
Beef,
Let me see
you're up. Show us that beer and then
This
take
beer?
a pic.
What
Oh
the-
my god.
Oh,
All right. So, in honor of this great pour that I just did of this beer, I'm gonna
big
pick.
head.
I'm gonna pick a guy that is a long-time 108 guy, and a guy who has not gotten any love in the tournament all these years. And it's someone we met at the very fucking beginning, and he told Teresi and I that he could do a fucking backflip, but I still don't believe him. I don't think it's the truth. It's our guy, DJ Mustard.
Yeah.
Awesome guy, but totally full of shit about saying he could do a goddamn backflip. And I know he cannot do it, but I'm putting him in my
It was a Courtney Hawkins conversation, right?
It was, yeah. And he's like, I could do one. And we're like, let's go in the concourse and do one right fucking now. And he's like, well, I used to be able to do one. Like he backpedaled immediately when Treasy and I are like, we got money out. Let's see you do it. Like,
Very Uncle Rico moment, but yeah, I do love that dude. I mean, like when you think back to those days, right? Like, I mean, like he had a blog on like Tumblr, right?
Yes.
I mean, like that's how far back we're going. And like you might be like, what Tumblr? What the fuck? No, a lot of people had shit on
It
Tumblr
wasn't
back
just
then.
porn.
Because it was a long time ago when,
Right.
when we all met. And
it was back home years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It speaking of, so I think it's my pick. I'm gonna go. And I honestly have to ask Beef, because I thought this guy was gonna be in the tourney, and I don't know that I heard his name tonight. Was Birkeland in the tourney?
No.
Then he's my pick. He would have been my number one. I just
He's
realized
a good pick.
I don't think he was picked. I don't think he was in the tourney. I thought I had forced him into the tourney, but he did not get in. Fuck you, Beef. I'm taking him now.
I mean, all I gotta say is this: you an entire year I work on this bracket, okay, and then a guy on January 1st comes out with "fuck Beef Loaf 2021." That guy's not getting in the tournament over my fucking dead body. Okay?
That's why I have him
not
in. That was the moment that I had him in.
You said,
and I love Matty Birkeland, but he's out. He tweeted hashtag "fuck Beef Loaf 2021,"
which endeared him to me.
So he's out. He's gone. We'll put him in this. That's fine.
That makes
fair
him.
and legal.
That makes him my pick. That makes him.
He's a Treasy favorite now. All of a sudden, huh?
Absolutely.
I see how it is.
I might have him to run the tourney. I'm gonna put him in on points bet.
How dare you?
Win the 108 tourney. Name your bet. Let's see what they give me for odds.
You son of a.
Sux Summer. Who you got, buddy?
All right. So how many I got left? I got 2 left, right?
You got 2 left.
All right. So I'm going to take a guy that I think if he gets his buds behind him, and he has a lot of famous friends, famous people he works with, I'm going to take one Mike Downey. He will never hear this in the
Wow.
podcast because he
Ooh.
never would listen to the show this long. But let's put Mike Downey into that, and we're going to tag him, and he's going to be the first he knows of it, and he's going to have to rally his friends. I know he knows Southpaw, so he might be able to get a good little, like, introduction to the world. Like, this is our best shot that, like, maybe the White Sox recognize this tournament as something legit. So, yeah, I'm going to take Mike Downey in my pick.
I love it. I love Downey. Great guy.
I do too. I'm a
Huge,
big
huge
fan,
fan.
but my Sox Summer, why do we need the White Sox to pay attention to this? All right.
I mean,
Tell
I
them
just
to fuck off. I don't want them to steal this
Listen,
tournament.
I
This is our
think that-
tournament, all right?
I think they're paying attention to 108ing. The shit
Quite a
was
bit.
mentioned
They seem
to
in
be
the,
paying
in
attention
the
a lot,
press
yeah.
conference the other day.
let's not
I think so.
let's not
yes.
pretend they're not watching this already. So let's just like make a buck or two on it, okay, love? I know you're a down home '90s guy, and you're like, I don't want to make money on my art. Fuck that shit. Let's get paid, motherfucker.
All right, we're giving away the White Sox Dave picks again. So I'm going to start with Mr. Hand on this one.
All
Who you
right.
got? Who you got for the Dave pick?
So I'm going to go with perhaps the second best graphic artist behind Jeff Muggs, Bison.
That's it.
Good
That's
pick.
a great
Really
pick.
good pick.
That's a great pick. And I'll tell you, like when we did the jersey thing, like we did the city jerseys,
Yeah.
like I thought that he really had a fantastic set. I mean, like obviously My Sox Summer and Jeff Muggs also fantastic jerseys. Bison really brought it. Like that was one of my favorite blogs. I don't know that got as I don't think that hit as hard as I thought it would,
Yeah.
blog wise. But man,
I mean, it was a good
I
blog
thought
and it
it
got
was-
a lot of views, but not as many as we thought. We thought it was
Right.
so
do real
I thought
big.
it was incredible. But then I remember I was like looking at, like you can see when you run a site like this, you could start to you see different things of like where people are clicking, not only to but from, like how they're getting to your site. And I saw this thing in like some weird message board, and like I went to it, and it was that Out of the Park whatever game, the game that like it's a computer game. It's like a baseball, like run your own franchise type thing. The fucking jerseys that these guys did, someone imported them into the game.
Yes.
And they're like
Yes.
alternate jerseys for the Sox. So you could like actually use those jerseys for the Sox. So the city jerseys that like Bison and My Sox Summer and Jeff Muggs created, you can use in that game. And like this was like a rabbit. It was like going into Reddit and going on a rabbit hole. That's like basically what I did. And I was like, holy shit, like someone cared enough about these jerseys to do this. I don't care how many fucking hits this thing got. That's fucking awesome. And Bison, love the guy. I never had a drink with Bison because every time I met
Underage.
Bison, he was under 21, just like Darren.
It's all
We
above
definitely-
board. No problem.
Definitely did not drink a Busch Light with him in the parking lot. That
No,
never-
never would.
Not happen.
Speaking of Darren, take the other Dave pick.
For my next pick, I am going to roll with a guy I have gotten to know more recently, and that is Jimbo Mihailovic.
Oh yeah, I like that pick.
It's a sexy pick, to be quite honest. And
I mean,
like,
Jimbo
a guy
does
named
the
Jimbo.
he
Yeah.
does the memes or the gifs with the face overs, like that shit. I've seen that shit before. Yeah,
And again, that's something that,
it's funny.
again, you think of it, you brought it up right away. You think of Jimbo, you think of the, face gifs. It's something that you associate with him. It's his thing.
Yeah,
He's got
yep.
his own thing going that you associate with him, and that's something that's good for content.
I like it. Yeah, you got your own thing.
Me too.
That's the kind of thing that we're looking for. My Sock Summer. Stop looking at porn.
I'm looking.
It's
I'm
back to
actually
you.
looking. I'm looking at a text from Slim Mick that I can't read online because it's way too dirty. So I'm not
How
gonna
dare he.
gonna do that. So all right. So this is my next pick, and it's somebody that I like, who's a big time 108 supporter. He's also a big Buffalo Wings and Rings supporter. I'm gonna take Barry Bag of Donuts.
Oh, good call.
Yeah,
My man he lives literally up the fucking street, and I still ship him his shit because I don't want to go to his house. he is like literally. I think it would take me 5 minutes to walk to his place and back. I'm still shipping it because I don't want to go over there and get mugged. But yeah, Barry Bag of Donuts. You're my fucking pick, my man. I love you. I think you're a great supporter of the 108. And the funny thing, I'll say this: Barry was gonna have a party in 2020. And he was like, "Hell, how much does it cost to get like, a few koozies from you guys?" I was like, "Listen, motherfucker, I'm gonna give you all the koozies you fucking want. You tell me how many people are coming to that party. I'm gonna give you every fucking koozie to make sure that motherfucker has a koozie." So yeah, Barry, party on. You're dancing, my friend.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
Barry's
it.
awesome, man. I
Yeah.
love Barry.
Yeah.
Barry was at all the signings when we were doing the parties for the signings, and we're hanging with him a little bit.
Yes.
Good dude, man.
Yeah, Wally and
First
I had
responder, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Wally and I had lunch at Wings and Rings a couple Sundays ago, and of course there was Barry camped out at his table holding
Yeah.
court like the mayor.
Yes. He absolutely is. There's no question.
So I think this is my last pick, right? We're on
Yeah.
the last
Yep.
last round. This is tough because there's a lot of dudes that I wanna get in here.
You want to get in a bunch of dudes? I get you.
Hello.
I will tell you who I'm not going to pick because he went all caps on me, and that's Luis Roberts' butt cheeks.
Sorry.
He was going to be my first overall, and then
My
he went all
bad.
caps attitude on me, and I'm he turned me off. You know what? Fuck it, man. I'm gonna go with this guy. You know why? I think he gets upset every time we leave him out of the tournament, and he's another big whiskey guy just like me. I'm gonna go Dan Victor. I'm gonna go Sly Dano.
Oh,
Let's get him in.
wow.
Let's see what he's got. He wants to be in. I want him in. Let's get him in there and let's see what he's gonna do.
My only complaint, Chirizi, is last year when he was like he said, "What's the 108 tournament and why am I not in it?" And I was like, "You answered your own question why you said it. Like you can't ask what it is and then go why I'm not in it. Like that's
I
ridiculous."
don't know, but I should be in it.
He was hurt. And you know what?
Yeah, he was.
Now he's gonna find out what it is, and if he can do well in it, we'll see.
Let's see if he can pay attention to us longer than the tournament length. And if he can and tweet a few things, maybe Mr. Dano's got a shot in this tournament. That's all I have to say. And I'm down to stouts, by the
We'll
way.
give him a shot. That's
I
right.
love it.
Yeah.
Beef. What do you got?
Boys, I gotta give a guy a shot in this thing who has very few followers. I think he might even have a private account. He's a guy who is known to come to the 108 and spin a goddamn yarn for an
Oh, I
entire
know who
9
this is.
innings.
Oh boy.
A guy who I can't wait to give a fucking hug when
Good
it's
Lord.
socially acceptable after COVID. And
Not
that's
the
my
guy I
guy, Uncle Grumpy. I miss him.
Absolutely.
I really want to see him. It's one of these people you want to be face to face with and talk to. I got to have Uncle Grumpy in my group. There's no
The good
question.
guy.
Beef, great pick. The only reason I didn't have him was because it's a private account, so I don't know that he wants, the attention of the tournament,
Yeah.
and so yeah. But I mean, like, absolutely, him and Infamous Marv, like,
Yes. Oh yeah.
those are dudes I just look forward to seeing in the 108, and Uncle Grumpy is one of those guys that like he's never at a loss for words.
No.
He's
He
ready
shows up. It's going to be 9 innings of all of us just talking shit. And we're like, oh, there's a game going on kind of thing. Like, that's how it goes.
He's a guy I don't like to sit behind me because I want to be talking and like,
Yeah.
and you got the game going and it's like so difficult because he's so captivating. He's giving you all these stories, all this shit. And you're just like, I kind of want to watch the game too. All right, Mr. Hand,
Okay. There's a couple of names I see here, but I'm going to go with one who is a person who has actually written something for the 108 in the past.
Ooh, yeah. I had him.
No,
Oh.
it's a her.
Oh.
And
Alexis Atwater.
So I will say she opted out of the tournament. So
probably should have shared that with Aloha, Mr. Hand, before right now. But yes.
yeah.
Tough to share that sort of information. Who reaches out and who tells you
Okay.
they do or don't
All right.
want it.
So then
we'll give you a mulligan.
Okay.
That's your mulligan.
All right. Did Brian Billick opt out?
Nope.
Surprisingly, no.
You can pick that asshole. Yes.
Or
No,
well, I'm just checking. I don't know.
No. You're good.
You know what you
Take
should
pick
do?
whoever you want.
Does Dave have any more picks left?
Yeah.
Because one
no,
of Dave's
so
picks
done.
should be Brian Billick.
Dave's
No.
picks are gone.
Yeah,
They're gone?
I'll go for Dave. I'll go with Billick.
All right,
I
there
love
you go.
Yeah, Billick was in the celebrities region, I think, the first year.
Love
Yeah,
Billick.
so that's where I'm not sure if we should allow this, right? Because he was kind of in the media bracket.
I would allow this. I will allow this.
He's dropped so far off your radar, Loaf. Why can't he be in?
I know, but if
what
you
I mean?
allow it, he'll beat all these guys.
I
We'll
don't
see.
think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, he's
We'll
gonna. I mean, if you guys want to allow it,
I will allow it.
fine for you guys. I don't care. Like he's
I
gonna
will-
crush all these people. But go ahead.
I will allow it. I will allow that one.
Okay,
All right.
I'll go with-
I don't think
agree.
I don't think it's good, but you guys go for it.
Beautiful.
Oh
Beef
my
Loaf's
God.
mad. We've done what
I'm
we needed to do.
I'm not mad. I just don't think
it's
it's.
Well,
getting
can I-
weird in
okay.
here.
I don't think the
Can I-
bar is fair right here.
Can I make a different pick then? Jeff Passan.
Yeah.
How about that?
No.
Oh, we can't break that one.
We've denied that one already. All right. Darren, last pick of the Snubs draft.
This is probably the toughest decision I've had to make in a while. I've been looking through the YouTube live comments. I've seen this name pop up a few times, especially recently as we're getting down to the end of the draft. This is someone I've talked to quite a bit this month and last month. I've Zoomed with, been in the chats with. Good guy, a person who was on the 108 Hangover show, and that's Beer Garden Jim.
Nice.
Ooh,
I
nice.
thought that My Sock Summer was going to pull him up, but
Well-
yeah, that's a good pull.
I saw a lot of Jim's comments in the last few weeks, and he didn't know what the 108 tourney was, so I didn't want to put him in something that he was not aware that existed. So that is
If he's unclear about how the tourney works or what it is,
Right.
it's weird to put him in there, but
if it's something that he doesn't know what it is, I don't want to pressure him into having to promote, something.
you might get
And,
his feelings hurt or not know what's going
right.
on. Like if it's too much for his life, I mean, I don't want to put that on him. That's unfair. Like
Right.
bad
So
for a guy,
I would like when I see what is the 108 tourney, I'm like, I don't want to vote for this guy particularly. So,
agreed.
Well, it probably won't matter because, as Beef noted, Brian Billick is going to plow through
Whoop
everybody's
everybody's
person in
ass.
this.
Yeah, he'll
So
crush all this.
It doesn't matter.
This group now. this draft. Apologies to everyone we drafted. I'm sorry.
Well, I think, fellas, that's it.
That's it.
We've went through all the regions. The whole bracket is complete. We've got a entire 24-person snub draft that will compete for the 108th spot. Darren will provide that to us because I only remember 3 or 4 that were actually set. And fellas, remember this
We
Saturday.
doing a list dump?
No,
Oh,
we're not doing a list dump. So this Saturday, we will be having another show.
yeah.
It will be the St. Pat's first call, and it will be a 9 a.m. until sometime in the afternoon.
12 o'clock.
Oh, 12. I guess we'll just cut you off at 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, I'm done. Yeah.
Oh, he'll
I'm
pass
done
me
at 12 o'clock.
Me and Beef will still be on after that.
Yes.
and we'll be running the show until we need to take a nap. And that's going to be an awesome show. And there's Southpaw, all St. Pat's out. So we will see you guys then. Enjoy yourselves.